And we are indeed back yet again, this time down there in Texas. And boy, oh boy, when you're down in Texas, you gotta come correct. And hopefully, 'cause I know I will, hopefully our New York Knicks come correct. They need a win after dropping their last two. We knew this was a tough stretch to end the season for the New York Knicks, dropping one to Charlotte on the road, dropping one to Oklahoma City on the road, and now here at Houston in the Toyota Center, playing in Texas, the Knicks need to find a way to walk away with the victory, especially considering it is the first end of a back-to-back situation. I have not heard any updates on Mitchell Robinson, which tells me he is playing tonight, probably won't play tomorrow, so we need to take full advantage of Big Mitch here tonight. Also, we got some more Deuce McBride news, but let's go ahead, let's break it all down as we go through the pregame rundown. Let's start the show. We are indeed back yet again. Here we are in Houston, so of course we had to come correct, yo. We are ready to walk away with the victory here tonight. At least they should be. I know I am. Hopefully our New York Knicks are as well. So, we have a big task ahead of us. The Rockets are a good team. Sometimes they're a good team, sometimes they're not. Who knows? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But let's start with our New York Knicks. We're going to start where we always start, with the captain, Jalen Brunson. As always, want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Daniel Berry Sports, Scomberg, what's up, Scomberg? Trapped in the 90s, what's up, Trapped in the 90s? Zane, what's up, Zane? Mike, what's up, Mike? Who else we got? Reddy, what's up, Reddy? MBM, Ram Jam, appreciate you. Bernard Johnson, of course, my guy. Simon Jaw, what's up, Simon? Chaos Kid, what's up, Chaos Kid? Justice's dad, Susan, of course, our regulars. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all very, very much. Here tonight, Knicks down in Houston, taking on the Rockets, led by, obviously, by Kevin Durant and by Alperen Sengun. Something I did not do was pull up the Rockets injury report. I don't think they have been dealing with a ton of injuries outside of the ones we already know. Yup, outside of the ones we already know, no Steven Adams, no Fred VanVleet, as both of those guys have undergone season-ending surgeries. So here we go. Zane, Senor Sheffy, you know, we had to come correct. We had to come correct. Normally, I'd rock the black cowboy hat just because it matches more, but we got a brand new hat, so I wanted to find a reason to wear it. So here tonight, we got the Smokey the Bear hat going, and I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock out. Absolutely feeling good with the notification that Deuce McBride will be available to play today. Oh my goodness, I was mentally prepared for Deuce McBride to not play basketball again this season, and he is back already right now. Here tonight, he will be available to play. Now, we'll see how much he plays, what his role will be. Maybe Mike Brown just says, maybe we don't play him. I expect to play him. He looks good. He was in high spirits earlier today when he was at shooting round. He was breaking a sweat. We're ready to go. Miss Mar, what's up, Miss Mar? Albert, what's up, Albert? CJ Trent, what's up, CJ? We got a good game here tonight. We also have a bunch of good games across the NBA slate here tonight. We have Suns Magic that have already tipped off. They're almost at the end of the first quarter. The Magic trying to have a bounce-back performance after getting absolutely shellacked by the who they played the other day. The Magic went down to the Toronto Raptors by 53 points. They're up by 7 early here in the first quarter. The Hornets taking on the Nets. The Hornets get a nice reprieve here after a tough stretch of games there. They lost to the 76ers, lost to the Celtics. Now they get an easy bounce-back game against the Nets, a get-right game, as we like to call them. The Raptors are taking on the Pistons. Both of these teams have been playing well as of late. The Pistons, remember we canceled our game last night. The Pistons ended up going into overtime against the Oklahoma City Thunder, so it ended up being a pretty fun one. James Sumler, what's up, James? Antoine Thomas, what's up, Antoine? Kenny McLeod, what's up, Kenny? Great to see Deuce back. Man, like I said, I was fully prepared for Deuce to not play basketball again for the Knicks this season. Fully prepared for it. CJ, the Hornets get a nice easy one, CJ, so you don't even have to worry about the Hornets tonight. They should get a nice bounce back, get right game against the Brooklyn Nets before closing out their season here. Obviously, we know our Knicks are taking on the Rockets. We got the Mavs, Bucks, Cavs, Lakers, and then the late game, 11 p.m. start time, way too late. But the late game, the Trailblazers will be taking on the Pistons. Antoine Thomas said, stylish tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We are ready to go. Bonita Crandon. What's up, Crandon? Let's go, Knicks. Absolutely. Should be a good one. Should be a fun one. I'm ready to go. Like I said, let's start what we always start, and that's with the captain, Jalen Brunson. We know what Brunson is capable of. We know what he can do. Felt like he was one of he felt like a classic Jalen Brunson game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we did not have a classic game from other guys that we need classic games from, namely Karl Anthony Towns. And yes, there are reasons. There are reasons for the performance that Karl Anthony Towns put up against the Thunder. Yes, there indeed are, in terms of the way the Thunder were defending him, in terms of his level of aggression, in terms of the aggression of his teammates trying to get him the ball. All of those things coalesce to him not getting enough shots, not getting enough touches, not being aggressive enough, looking for his own shot. Yes, we talked about it. We could spend all night talking about it again. Ultimately, what we need is for this team to figure out how to make sure we get Karl Anthony Towns more shots. You know, and I've talked about it, how I thought he played the right way. I thought he was really smart in the decisions he made on when he did shoot and when he didn't shoot. And part of the reason, when you look at the halftime score and he's got one shot attempt, a lot of it is because he was fouled in times when they did get him the ball in positions where he could be aggressive. But the quotes coming out after the game are the upsetting parts of this team and of Karl Anthony Towns' season, where he's still talking about, I'm just trying to, have an impact on this team and do what's best for everybody and find my place. And it's like, no, man, no. Why are we still using this phrasing? And I've seen people kind of justify it in the sense of saying, I think this is just his go-to saying whenever he's a bit frustrated or the team is on a little bit of a downturn. Because he's gone to it multiple times this season, and obviously we're 70-plus games into the season. It's like, we can't keep saying that, Cat. Can't keep saying that. So we've seen him play well. We've seen this team be aggressive at getting him the ball. We've seen him be aggressive demanding the ball. We need all of those things in combination for them to make their true championship run this season, for them to hit their ceiling. So all of that for sure. Zermac, what's up, Zermac? Yeah, the reason is because they keep putting him at the top of the arc. He needs to keep his his big butt in the paint and rim only. I mean, if only that were the skill set of Karl Anthony Towns. This is no longer the 90s and no longer even the early 2000s, brother. We are in 2026 basketball where Karl Anthony Towns is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. Now, he hasn't necessarily done that this season per se from the percentages-wise, but part of the reason why he doesn't consistently stay by the rim and they don't just dump the ball down to him in the post is because he has, Zermac said he has no business staying outside the arc. Sure, brother. Sure, one of the greatest catch-and-shoot three-point shooters of all time, point-blank, period. Literally big man or guard. But sure, yes, as if Karl Anthony Towns' success has not been bred upon by his ability to knock down the three. Sure. Eric, what's up, Eric? Sons Jen, what's up, Sons Jen? Love the fit. Yes, sir. We had to come correct down here in Texas. Part of the reason why Karl Anthony Towns does not consistently stay down low is for a multitude of reasons, but the biggest reason is because that's what teams want. That's what defenses want. They don't want Karl Anthony Towns up at the three-point line because that's honestly when he's most dangerous. If they throw the ball to Karl Anthony Towns in the post, the defenses are like, yes, yes. This is why we put a point guard on Towns. This is why we put a wing, a smaller player, on Karl Anthony Towns. Teams do it to Jokic. Teams do it to Embiid. Part of the reason why teams do that is because they want you to get away from your regular ball movement offense. For all of the criticisms that people levy at Jalen Brunson for being like, he isolates too much. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? David Oz Jr., appreciate you guys, right? For all of the criticisms everybody levies against Jalen Brunson being like, he isolates too much. We got to get away from isolation basketball, only for people to make the same argument of, hey, just give the ball to Karl Anthony Towns down low in the post. Do we not understand that that is an isolation play? We are dumping the ball to Karl Anthony Towns in the post, and everybody will just stand around and watch him. It is not good offense in modern basketball, nor is it really been a good play for the Knicks when they have dumped it down to Karl Anthony Towns. None of the metrics show that that has been a good play for the Knicks this season for a multitude of reasons. Number one, Karl Anthony Towns is a limited post player. He doesn't have a plethora of moves down there. Number two, he's not a very patient post player. He wants to go quickly or he takes too long. Number three, if they dump it down to him in the post, teams are likely going to bring a double team over to him if they do get him the ball in a favorable position against a smaller matchup. Teams are likely to bring a double team over to him. You know what Karl-Anthony Towns is not good at? Passing out of double teams. You know what he is good at? Attacking out of the perimeter, knocking down threes. He's done a much better job of being a mover off ball than he has done being a paint presence. David said, ISO, you win zero, cutting, popping, wins offense. And we hate it when Jalen Brunson gets into his isolation bag. We should also hate it when Karl-Anthony Towns demands to be in his isolation bag out of the post. It is the same play, but we are upset when one guy does it, but we are clamoring for when another guy does it. Now, do we need to give the ball to Karl-Anthony Towns to post every now and again? Yes. I'm not saying never go to it. I'm saying go to it. Towns needs to be better, number one, in getting in position and staying in position. Number two, Karl-Anthony Towns needs to be better whenever they do bring the double team over and passing out of the double team. And number three, the Knicks need to do a better job of having plays set out of the post for Karl-Anthony Towns, but they just don't. They just don't. Melo Diaz Jr., and we're 70-plus games into the season to try to fundamentally reintroduce new concepts into an offense that has already been designed, has already been reworked multiple times this season to fit this personnel, is just not a recipe for success at this point, right? These are things they should have attempted to do earlier in the season, and they did not. Well, not that they did not, but they have not consistently gotten to a point where they're comfortable playing out of Karl-Anthony Towns in the post. So, yes, I'm with you. I want to see Karl-Anthony Towns dominating the post. That's not something he's ever consistently done throughout his career to success, and it's not something he's particularly all that great at. I know it's when we see a 6'5" guy guarding a 7-foot guy, we're just like, oh, give the ball to 7-foot guy and tell him to throw up a hook shot. We're in 2026. Teams don't do that. Players don't do that. Karl-Anthony Towns, can he do that? Sure. Yes, he can turn around and knock down a hook shot. He needs to be better at it. He needs to be more consistent in getting to those spots and knocking down those shots. The fact of the matter is, he just has not been. And also, when the Knicks do that, OG Anunoby's just standing out on the perimeter. Mikal Bridges just standing out on the perimeter. Josh Hart's standing out on the perimeter, not being guarded, which allows teams to bring double teams over to Karl-Anthony Towns very easily upon the catch in the post. It's just not been good offense at all for the New York Knicks this year. David said, we need Thundercat, not Kitty Cat. They just need an aggressive guy. I'm with you on that. Andrew Brooks said, love the dapper hat. Appreciate you, brother. And the shirt, man. Cat and Bridges need to have a 20-point games for a successful end to the regular season. Let's go, Knicks. Tend to agree. Melo Diaz Jr. said, Towns needs to use his size more often. I think Towns is using his size well. Can he use it better? Of course he can. He's using his size well, in my estimation. He's one of the best rebounders in the NBA. He had 18 rebounds against the Thunder. Is that not using your size well? I get what we mean, like offensively put the ball in the basket, use your size better. I get that. I'm not denying that that is not true. That is 100% true. You guys are right in that criticism. But there are reasons as to why the Knicks have gotten away from that and have decided that's not helping anybody. It's not helping Towns. It's not helping the Knicks' ball movement. It's not helping the Knicks shooters. It's not spacing the floor the way they needed to be spaced for their attackers. It's not helping their player movement or ball movement. It's not really helping them other than, oh, we have a small guy guarding a big guy. Let's just give the ball to the big guy and tell him to go get us a basket. It doesn't really work that way. Defenses are too smart at this point. David said, I say we just see out the last 7 games, see how far we get in the playoffs, and then criticize them. I mean, it's fair to criticize them on a game-to-game basis. That's why we're here. This is what we do as fans, right? There are levels to criticism. I think we can criticize them without being like, Cat sucks, let's get him off the team. That's what gets me annoyed, where I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Let's criticize him. Let's talk about it. Things he does well, things he does not do well. I think everything I've said so far has been pretty fair, but for the most part, you need Karl-Anthony Towns to be Karl-Anthony Towns, and that's being able to get points in the paint, through post-ups, being able to get points through drives out of the high post at the top of the key, being able to get points from the three-point line. Like, you need a 3-level score. You are not getting, Olajuwon. You're not getting Ewing. You are not getting Shaq. You are not even getting Jokic out of Karl-Anthony Towns. You're getting Karl-Anthony Towns. And I don't think the Knicks have consistently gotten a good version of Karl-Anthony Towns this season. We know what a good version of Towns looks like. He's knocking down threes. He's driving to the rim. He's grabbing offensive rebounds. He's getting putbacks. When he does those things, the Knicks thrive. The Knicks do well. He looks like the star that he is. When he's not getting those opportunities to do those things, or he's not doing them well, that's when we start looking at him and we go, what do we got to do, Towns? Do we just got to give the ball to you in the post? What do you want? What do we want? What do you want us to do? It can be annoying. It can be frustrating. It can lead to conversations where it's like, what do we do? What do we do? right? What do we do with Towns? Do we just have him shoot threes? Do we just have him space out in the corners? Do we play the double big lineup more? Do we go small more? What is the way we can get Karl-Anthony Towns going? I think these are the questions that Mike Brown has been asking himself, have been asking the players, have been asking Towns himself, have been asking his assistant coaches, like, what do we do with Cat on a night-to-night basis? Because it feels like he's just not comfortable all the time. There are times where he looks great, and there are times where it's like, all right, man, are you just not locked in? Are you not comfortable with where you're getting the ball? I don't know. Zermac said, Knicks need the UConn coach to replace Mike Brown. I love Dan Hurley as a basketball mind. His personality, Zermac, I don't think will translate to the NBA well, right? I think he's a brilliant basketball mind. I do really like watching his teams play basketball. I think his teams are always extremely well coached. I think he's a really smart basketball coach. But his antics, his interviews, he is a tough pill to swallow, man. I'm going to be interested, hopefully, when he does make that leap to the NBA, it's with the Knicks, and it works out well, because I do like Hurley, and I would love to see him coach the Knicks one day, but he might not be ready for that right now. I think he needs to get a little bit older, a little calmer, just a little bit. You obviously want to keep the Hurleyisms alive, but just a little calmer, so that you don't get fried alive by the New York media. Isaiah Gardner, the issue, just give him more touches and set him screens to get good looks from three. Yeah, sometimes it could be that simple. Sometimes not, but yeah. I mean, we've been asking for it. Vic, what's up, Vic? Houston can't afford rocket fuel. Bernard Johnson said that hat is saying something. We got our Smokey the Bear hat going. Mike said double big is probably the way to go tonight. I mean, yeah, they're one of the better rebounding teams in the league. They're a very big team. They play very big. So, yeah, double bigs. We should see a healthy dose of it tonight. Bozabita said, we can't lose tonight. We are only one game ahead of Cleveland. Absolutely. And only one game up in the loss column. Knicks with 27 losses, Cleveland with 28, although they are playing the Lakers here tonight. So we'll see how that works out for Cleveland. Let's get to OG Anunoby, who I think has played fine. Nothing too stand out from OG. I thought he played good defense. I thought he provided enough offense. There are times where the shot looks good, and there are times where the shot doesn't look good. He was shooting over 40% from three-point range for majority of the start of the year, and then had a massive drop-off where he couldn't buy a basket from three, and he dropped down to 34% from three. Now he's back up to hovering around 38%, so that's good. But obviously, you need him to be hovering around 40% come playoff time for the Knicks to have any chance. He needs to be the third guy. It's very evident that they have decided that OG Anunoby, not decided, like it is very clear that OG Anunoby is the third guy on this team. He needs to be the third guy consistently. Not every now and again, not some nights, not even most nights, every night. You want to be a star, you want to find yourself on all-star teams and all-star bids, you got to bring it every night. Isaiah Gardner said, because OG shouldn't get more touches than Cat unless Cat is struggling offensively to get it going. It honestly, Isaiah, it should be, touches is one conversation. Shot attempts is another. I think Karl-Anthony Towns gets plenty of touches. To me, it's the conversation always surrounds shot attempts for Towns. Depends on the matchup. Depends on the matchup, and it depends what defense are looking for. I think oftentimes we try to have these conversations as to what the Knicks should do versus what defenses are forcing the Knicks into do. And I think one of the things that the Knicks struggle with most is playing into the hands of their opponents. And it's part of the reason why they struggle even against sometimes teams that we feel like they should just run off the court, right? And then they're in these dogfight of games, and it's like, why are we doing so? And I think oftentimes it's because this team will just go with the flow and take what the defense gives them sometimes. Sometimes you need to force the issue. You're playing our way. When the Knicks do that, they could beat anybody. That's when we've seen the Knicks at their best, is when they're like, you're playing our way. We're playing a helter-skelter type of offense, up and down, pushing the pace, but not too fast, still able to play out of the half court and allow Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns to play off of each other and be stars. Right? That's when they're at their best. They're also at their best when they can run you off the three-point line, but also corral the paint and force kickouts and continue to be in rotation and force teams to make 3, 4, 5, 6 passes before they eventually take a shot. But oftentimes they find themselves in a situation where they're playing a game dictated by the Thunder or dictated by the Charlotte Hornets. Like, those games were dictated by those teams, and the Knicks suffered for it. The Knicks had their opportunities to find a way to pull it off because they're a very good team, but consistently playing the other team's style of game puts you behind the 8 ball. It's part of the reason why the Knicks are always, it feels like the Knicks are always trailing in a game. David Hodge Jr. said Deuce. Deuce is available to play tonight, David. I don't know what they did. I don't know what kind of injury it was. He's available to play, brother. Nick Yak said the other night maybe it was just him feeling like a bruise and it was sore and that was kind of the pain that he had. He might have been right because Deuce McBride is available to play somehow. And it made my day. It made my day. Zane said also double teaming KD. He has no answer for that at the moment. Nope. And I'm not sure he's ever had an answer for that. The sneaky thing about Kevin Durant throughout his career, he's not been very good at handling double teams his entire career. Isaiah Gardner said the opponents make it look easy to guard the Knicks, and the Knicks let it happen. Yeah, they just sometimes let it happen. And again, they just play right into the hands of what defenses want. Again, defenses sometimes, they want you to dump the ball down to Karl-Anthony Towns in the post. One, it gets the ball out of Brunson's hands. Two, it forces Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby to go stand on the opposite side of the court and just stand there and do nothing. Three, it allows them to not guard Josh Hart. Teams don't want to guard Josh Hart. They already don't guard Josh Hart no matter what, right? And giving the ball to Karl-Anthony Towns in the post just allows teams to be like, cool, now all we have to focus is doubling Karl-Anthony Towns, who's not a great passer out of double teams. Easy. You are playing right into our defensive hands, which is why the Knicks, I say the Knicks struggle to dictate these games most of the time. And it's part of the reason why they struggle to take leads in these games or hold leads in these games. When they can dictate the pace and the play style, they can beat anybody. They can beat OKC. They've beaten San Antonio doing that. They can run whatever they want to run offensively if they can dictate the pace and the style of game. But too often, they get caught, because Mikal Bridges has an iffy handle, OG Anunoby has an iffy handle, speaking of. And oftentimes, the offense kind of just sputters out because those guys aren't great dribble drive guys. And it ends up in Jalen Brunson's hands, and he's like, all right, fine, we got 8 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm going to cook. Get out of my way. I'm going to cook. We don't have enough time to continue to run this set. We don't have enough time to run another set. Now you either just got to get out of my way, or I'm going to run a pick and roll with either Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson, whoever the center is guarding, and I'm going to try and make something happen. And then we all get frustrated, like, man, Jalen Brunson's dribbling too much. Jalen Brunson's doing this, doing that. And, it's at times where it's like, okay, sometimes I need Mikal Bridges to get in his bag. Sometimes I need Mikal Bridges to run a pick and roll, right? And not pick up his handle and then look at Jalen Brunson and be like, save me, because I picked up my handle too early. Now I got nowhere to go. And, the Knicks need ball handlers. They thought maybe they had another ball handler, Mikal Bridges, after what he showed in Brooklyn. After he got traded there as the number one guy and the main ball handler on that team. I don't know where that guy went. That guy is not very confident in his ball handling capabilities whatsoever. So, Jalen Brunson's back to just doing his own thing. It's part of the reason why we've seen Mike Brown experiment with other guards like Jose Alvarado and Tyler Kolek playing alongside Deuce McBride. It's like, at least there's another ball handler out there to take some of the pressure off of Jalen Brunson. We saw Jalen Brunson get picked in the backcourt the other day by Kayson Wallace because he's consistently, for 40 minutes that he plays, or 35, whatever he played the other night, 36 minutes, bringing the ball down against full court pressure against either Caruso or Wallace or, Isaiah Joe or SGA or Lou Dort or literally any of their players. They're like, just guard Jalen Brunson full court. Because if he swings it over to Bridges, he can't really handle the ball like that. They swing it over to Josh Hart. He's the next best ball handler. And what does that say about the Knicks? They don't have enough ball handlers, right? Not trustworthy ones. Fungpe, what's up, Fungpe? Durston, what's up, Durston? What a great giddy up. How are you, Chef? Go Rockets. I'm good, Durston. I'm good. My guy's in the chat room for his Rockets. Appreciate you as always, Durston. Susan, what's up, Susan? Isaiah Garner said, this is why I wanted Kobe White in the Knicks. I'm with you, man. Kobe White was my number one target, even though I knew it was highly unlikely it was going to happen. Andrew Brooks said, more defense, less turnovers, with a dose of Mo and Kolek. Our focus must be on the captain having an A game, not to mention Josh shooting those threes. Yeah. Well said. Well said, Andrew. Doing too much. What's up, doing too much? To be honest, Chevy, Brunson handles aren't that good. Brunson handles would be good if he weren't getting consistently shaded over to by defenders who just refuse to guard Josh Hart. Jalen Brunson can cook anybody one-on-one. His handles are perfectly fine. They're not in conversation for best handles in the NBA or anything like that. But Jalen Brunson has good handles, very good handles. Like I said, he's not in the conversation for best handles in the NBA, but he's got very good handle. Think about it. He's consistently going 1-on-5 with the way teams guard the New York Knicks. Durant said, appreciate you. Let's hope for a good game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reddy said, Knicks must score in the interior. Yes, they should. Doing too much, said, true, I love the fit also. Appreciate you doing too much. When you're in Texas, you got to come correct. Let's fly by these next couple of minutes, next couple of Knicks. We have 8 minutes left to go. 8 minutes. It's 8 p.m. We have 10 minutes to go before we get the tip-off here. So let's run through these guys and then get to the Houston Rockets. Get through as many Houston Rockets as we can as possible. Josh Hart has been fine. He's been cool. Again, one of the biggest issues about Josh Hart, he doesn't really fit the starting lineup all that great. They're kind of very mediocre as a starting lineup. Shoot the open threes, Big Josh. Shoot the open threes, shoot them with confidence, and continue to do Josh Hart things. And I'll be fine with it. Get off my lawn, Rockets. Appreciate you, brother. He said, Chevy, that fit. Yes, sir. When you're in Texas, you got to come correct. You got to come correct to Texas. CJ said, if you guys had Melo, you would be a beast. Now, are we talking about Carmelo or are we talking about LaMelo? Let's get to Mitchell Robinson. I assume he's playing tonight. I have not seen any updates that say otherwise. It is the first night of a back-to-back, so I'm going to assume he plays here against the Rockets and sits against the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow. So they need Mitchell Robinson to be Mitchell Robinson. He's been good. He's been solid, but he hasn't been great. We haven't seen a great Mitchell Robinson game in a couple of weeks here, so give us a great Mitchell Robinson game here tonight. They're going to need it against this Rockets team. They're very, very big. Deuce McBride is available to play here tonight. We got shafted a little bit with Deuce McBride against the Thunder, got injured, went out of the game, scared the living daylights out of me, thought he was going to be done for the season with the way he walked off and how he looked walking off. So I'm happy he's available to play today. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully we see a decent stretch from him and he looks good. Going back to the previous game against the Thunder, he did not score. So, and then he went out with the injury. So hopefully we see him knock down some shots. Hopefully he looks good. Hopefully he's moving well. And hopefully he survives this game fully healthy and ready to go. Get on my lawn record said most of the records on our catalog were cut in Austin, Texas. Look at that. Appreciate you, Get on my lawn records. Landry Shamet, there was an update on Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet has been practicing with the Knicks and scrimmaging. He could be back as early as next game, or he could be back when the Knicks go back home against Chicago. But he is on his way. He's looking good. And if they do get Landry Shamet back tomorrow, well, Mitchell Robinson will probably be out tomorrow. But going back home against Chicago, the Knicks will be fully healthy for the first time in 2 months, over 2 months. We get the Jose Alvarado, who I actually liked majority of the game he played against the Thunder the other day. I thought it was rough to start. I thought he had a rough start, as he's been pretty rough as of late. Greg Williams, what's up, Greg? Appreciate you. Said somebody give KD some soap wash-up time. Crazy to say to a legend. But I thought Jose Alvarado, after he kind of settled into the game, he knocked down 2 or 3 threes. I thought he did a good job as a ball handler, a creator. I thought he did a good job of playing through Karl-Anthony Towns and getting the ball to him in spaces where he wanted it. And I thought overall he played a solid game. Nothing great, nothing outstanding, just solid. Just what I want to see from Jose Alvarado. Give us a solid performance every night, right? And then occasionally give us a great performance. But we could just get solid from you, where majority of the nights so far during his Knicks tenure have not been very good. So I just need solid at this point. I'm setting a little bar here, Jose. It's as low as I can set it. Just play solid, offensively and defensively. That's all we're asking for. I'm really interested to see the Jose Alvarado and Deuce McBride lineups, but we have not gotten to that point yet, obviously. Fungpei said, leaky tweet is this disintegrating the team. Houston is done. Let's get to Mo Diawara, who didn't really see a ton of time against the Thunder. Kind of, now that the Knicks are getting fully healthy, seemingly like he's going to be on the outside looking in, which always made sense to me. I said it from the beginning. I thought he took full advantage of the opportunity he was given. I don't think he's ready for primetime per se. Obviously, he's still valuable. If there's space to get Mo Diawara in there, Mike Brown should try to get Mo Diawara in there. But for the most part, when the Knicks are fully healthy, expect Landry Shamet, expect Deuce McBride, expect Jose Alvarado. Don't expect guys like Mo Diawara. Don't expect guys like Jeremy Sohan, who just cut his hair. Shout out Jeremy Sohan for just cutting his hair. Looks good. Grow that thing back out, dye that hair a different color again. I love when Jeremy Sohan dyes his hair. It's fun. Have fun. As a proud member of the Bald Coalition, if you have hair, have fun with it. Obviously, if you're in a professional space, also be a professional. But Jeremy Sohan's a basketball player, so have fun with your hair, brother. Just as Dad said, 3 L's in a row isn't a thing. Yeah, can't do that. Can't do that. And don't expect... Oh, Jordan Clarkson. Forgot about Jordan Clarkson, who has been in the rotation. Maybe if Jordan Clarkson reverts back to the Jordan Clarkson that initially got booted out of the rotation, maybe we could see some more Mo Diawara. But as of right now, Jordan Clarkson has been playing good enough and well enough, and honestly has been playing really well, to the point where Mike Brown kind of has him solidified in this lineup right now. So, Tammy, what's up, Tammy? Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Putting my feet up. Crazy. Tammy said looking spiffy. Appreciate you, Tammy. This hat is tight as heck on my head, man. I'm not going to lie. Tammy said Lonzo becoming a Knick. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. With his lack of creativity with the ball in his hands, highly unlikely he becomes a Knick. Not really solving any of the issues the Knicks have. And like I said about Jeremy Sohan, like I said about Mo Diawara, I'm going to say the same thing about Tyler Kolek. If you can find spaces to get him in there, he's very situational, get him in there. But for the most part, don't expect Tyler Kolek, Mo Diawara, or Jeremy Sohan to get a ton of minutes towards the end of the season here. Now let's quickly get to the Houston Rockets. We got about 4 minutes to go. We got Alperen Sengun, who, some people refer to him as Baby Jokic. He's gotten his interior game more intact versus earlier in the season, was spending a ton of time out on the perimeter. I think it's for the best. That he's more inside the paint, because that three-point shot has not really worked out for him this season. Where he started the year on fire from three, but as the year's gone down, as you can see, has disintegrated almost entirely back to about 30.5% here. 30% from three is not good at all. 20.7 points, 9 boards, 6.2 assists. They kind of had him playing like a power forward / small forward / point center kind of situation back when they were extremely big with Steven Adams healthy, with no no Fred VanVleet, meant they needed a ball handler and a point guard out there. Alperen Sengun stepped in to provide that earlier in the season, but it's not really worked out. He's kind of reverting back to where he was before. There's been some talk about Alperen Sengun not being utilized to his best capabilities. There's been some doubts with Ime Udoka and his coaching and his decisions to put Alperen Sengun in certain situations on the court. Like, look, guys, unless you're Nikola Jokic or Victor Wembanyama and a unicorn, it is very difficult to find uses for these kind of perimeter-based big men. It's not just the Knicks struggling to find uses for Brunson Towns. It's also the Houston Rockets with Alperen Sengun here. Mike said Mike Brown didn't last long with any of the teams he coached. Like 3 or 4 years, and that's the general kind of lifespan of a journeyman coach. 3, 4, 5-ish years. Right? Tom Thibodeau didn't last very long on the teams he was on either. Listen, Mike Brown was not the Knicks' first option. The Knicks went out there and they tried. They tried to get other players. They tried to get other coaches. They could not get other coaches. Doing too much. Said if we don't get past the second round in the playoffs, would you want Mike Brown fired? To me, it's a moot point because he's not going to get fired. They just fired Tom Thibodeau. They're not going to fire Mike Brown after one season. Farm Boy TV said, JC, let's jog. Howdy, Chevy. Appreciate you, Farm Boy TV. Aisha, what's up, Aisha? Did I say what's up to Aisha? What's up, Aisha? She said, let's go, Knicks. Yes, sir. Amen Thompson is kind of the Josh Hart of this team a little bit. Obviously, 22 years old, uber athlete, 6'7", long wingspan. He's better overall than Josh Hart. But he kind of gets guarded the same way, where teams just refuse to guard him out on the perimeter. Let's see how the Knicks guard him and how effective and how aggressive their ghost coverage on Amen Thompson is, which has kind of been the go-to strategy against him. Let's see. Theknon Gambles. What's up, Theknon? Different fit. We got to come correct when we come to Houston. We're getting ready for tip-off any second here, so let's go real quick to Jabari Smith Jr., the forgotten fifth starter on this team. He's solid, but overall not all that impactful or great. He goes on these stretches where ultimately he'll end up with his 15.5 points, but overall he can have very quiet stretches throughout the game. He should be a stretch big, but only 36% from threes, just not really getting it done to the degree that they need it. Reed Shepherd is now in the starting lineup. He's been playing so well, and also the other guy that was pulled out of the starting lineup has been playing so poorly. That Reed Shepherd is now in the starting lineup. It took him long enough. He's not in the starting lineup. They have Tari Eason back in the starting lineup, so what do I know? No Reed Shepherd in the starting lineup. He'll be coming off the bench for them. He's an extremely dangerous shooter. He should be in the starting lineup. They need a point guard. He is the closest thing they have to a point guard. He's not a natural pure point guard, but he's the closest thing they have to that. He does a decent job of setting the team up and getting them in their actions. He's also can spread it out to 30, 35 feet from three-point range. So Jeff Brown, what's up, Jeff? Appreciate you, brother. Doing too much that you are the best in the game calling the games all facts. Appreciate you doing too much. Jeff Brown said Mortal Kombat, Chevy. Yeah. I call this Western Raiden. I call this hat Western Raiden for sure. I was literally thinking the exact same thing, Jeff. Croywin, what's up, Croywin? Recovery Grind, what's up, Recovery? They changed that late. Punk Houston, I don't know why they did that. I thought Reed Shepherd's I would have started Reed Shepherd, 15 games to the season. Like, I would have slowly worked him in because he didn't really play last year in the rotation. I would have slowly worked him into the rotation this year and then started him. They knew they were without Fred VanVleet, put him in there. Speaking of, Tari Eason's in the starting lineup this year. He has just gone ice cold from everywhere. He's shooting 41% from the field and now down to 37% from three-point range, down 10 percentage points. When I updated this, last I updated it, Tari Eason was shooting 47% from three. He's now shooting 37% from three, which is an absolute fall off a cliff kind of situation here for Tari Eason. Part of the reason why Reed Shepherd was inserted into the starting lineup is because Tari Eason has forgotten how to shoot the basketball and how to make baskets. It's really affected the Houston Rockets offense, man. Twilson said, big trouble in Little China. Dog catcher, the dog catcher. Ricardo Brothway, what's up, Ricardo? Kinahara, what's up, Kinahara? I didn't know you became a Spurs fan. Look at this guy. Why would this say Spurs? I'm just down here in Texas. We having a good time in Texas. When you are down in Texas, you got to come correct to Texas. Bruce said, don't care if we win or lose, just one deuce to look good. That's my only takeaway. I do care if they win or lose. I don't want to lose 3 in a row. Don't want to have to battle the Cleveland Cavaliers for that 3 seed. For that 3 seed. Just hold on to that 3 seed, man. Keenar said, KD must have ate Tari Easton's lunch. Crazy. Greg Williams said, Cat on the Turk. I'd put Josh Hart on KD. Well, they're going to put OG Anunoby on KD is what they're going to do. At least they should start the game. Clint Capella, now with Steven Adams out, becomes a very integral part. He becomes their backup center, where before he was kind of a situational third-string center. Didn't see a ton of time. Now, obviously, very integral as their backup big here. Classic rim running big. Dorian Finney-Smith, since coming back from the injury, has not been great. 27% from three, 32% from the field is terrible for Dorian Finney-Smith. You thought he was eventually going to come back up after coming back from the injury. That has not happened for him. Aaron Holiday isn't really part of the rotation anymore, so we can slide past him. And obviously, we know Steven Adams is out for the rest of the season with, I believe, shoulder surgery is what he got. So here we go. We got through it. We kind of sped past the Houston Rockets there, but we're obviously here for the Knicks. Like I say all the time, we call basketball games outside of the New York Knicks, but when it comes to my New York Knicks and our New York Knicks, I'm going to be very, very biased. I just am. Keenar said, Adams missing is really hurting them. Well, that and KD's crap attitude. Yep. All right. Let's get this right where I want it, right about there. That's pretty good. Here we go for the tip. The Houston Rockets win it, as it feels like the Knicks have not won a jump ball to start the game in forever. Holiday has, Thompson has it up top, gets it over to Sengun. Sengun over to Durant. Durant back out to Sengun. Sengun will line up a 3. Towns dares him to shoot it. He obliges. He can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Good boxing out from Bridges. Anunoby able to come in and grab the rebound. Here comes OG Anunoby. Anunoby has it up top. They get it over to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Thompson. Over to Bridges. Bridges gets it over to Hart. Hart being guarded by Sengun. He has it on the right wing. Josh Hart, pass fake, keeps it, coming to his left, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson blowing past Sengun, has it in the lane, leans in, draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Frank Juarez, what's up, Frank? Always happy to see you in the chat, Frank. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Brunson will start the game by going to the foul line. Where's my water? Here we go. Start the game by going to the foul line here. Knock down your free throws. Literally all I can say is knock down your free throws, JB. Rich Smith, what's up, Rich? No chef hat today. See, this is what I'm telling you guys. I don't wear the chef hat, and people are like, where's the chef hat? I have literally 20, 30 different hats back there. So, we're just going to keep it with the chef's hat. Every now and again, we are in Houston. I'm going to throw, we are in Houston. We're in Texas. So I'm going to throw on a little Texas fit. Just a little one. Dog catcher. He said Pharrell hat for the front row. Yes, sir. DCO love. Boz was popping, everybody. Brunson splits the free throws. He misses the first, but he does knock down the second. Rich Smith, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. The chef's hat will make its return. 1 point on the board for the New York Knicks. I don't love seeing that. Thompson down the lane, off the screen, gets all the way to the basket for an easy one-handed flush in the paint. Knicks ghost coverage, not good enough there. Why are we guarding Amon Thompson at all out on the perimeter? Why is he allowed to come off the screen and get all the way to the rim? Terrible defense for the Knicks on that possession. Brunson gets it over to Bridges. Bridges takes the baseline. And Bridges was on the sideline as he tried to take the baseline. And it ends up being a turnover. NBM said no shutout. Technically, they are on the board, so you're right about that. Thompson bringing it down. He's being guarded by Hart. Why is Hart guarding him out by the three-point? Why out by the half-court line? What are we doing? Sengun has it up top, hands it off to Durant. Durant, a pull-up jump shot. Got it to go for Durant off the handoff from Sengun. A long two. 4-1 here. Brunson bringing it down. Brunson gets it over to Hart. Hart pump fakes, drives to his left against Sengun. Little fall-away floater off glass, can't get it to go. Not really the shot I want Josh Hart settling for. Here comes Thompson pushing it the other way. Picks up his handle, lobs it over the top to Sengun, catches it in the paint. Brunson sneaks behind and knocks the ball loose from Sengun. And they get it over to Bridges, pushing it the other way. Great defense from Brunson. Brunson off the handoff from Bridges, puts up the right wing three, comes up well short, grazes the front of the rim, and the rebound careens to Durant. And now here comes Sengun bringing it down the other way. The Knicks are still without a field goal made 2 minutes into this game. Sengun gets it over to Durant. Durant being guarded by Towns. Durant rises up, straightaway three over Karl Anthony Towns, and he splashes it nothing but net. It's looking like a Kevin Durant type of night. Josh Hart tries to lob it over the top to Karl Anthony Towns. They're trying to push the pace the other way, right over the top of his fingertips, and it goes out of bounds. Ball back to the Rockets, and it's a 7-1 start with Amon Thompson and the Rockets bringing it down the other way. Not a good start for our Knicks yet again. Sengun hands it off to Durant. Durant coming to his right, being guarded by Anunoby. Mid-range pull-up jumper. He's got the shot. He's got the shot as he knocks down the pull-up two. And it's now 9-1 here tonight. And Brunson will bring it down the other way. Durant with 7 points on 3 for 3 shooting already. Brunson coming to his left. Crossing over on Thompson, coming to his right. Kick it over to Josh Hart, shoves it over to Bridges. Bridges back out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart, a right wing three. He's open. Shoots it wide or way too strong. Breaks it off the back of the rim and the backboard. Easton driving it down the other way. Shovels it down low to Sengun. Kicks it out to Durant as the trailer, a wide open three, and he rattles it in. It's a 12-1 start, and it's a timeout for the New York Knicks as they have yet to hit a shot here tonight. Marlon, what's up, Marlon? Any live app where I can watch the game at? Unfortunately, Marlon, nothing that's free. You're going to have to Google it. I can't, in good faith, tell you that right here. Mark, what's up, Mark? We're cooked. It is not a good start offensively or defensively for the Knicks. Not entirely sure what the game plan is. What is the game plan? Nick Yak's a typical start. We're used to it. I'm not freaking out because we're used to this. Now, again, we talked about this in the pregame. Knicks consistently finding themselves in a situation where they're playing behind the 8 ball, but also not dictating the game. Why is Josh Hart guarding Amon Thompson when he's at the half-court line? Amon Thompson can shoot outside of 12 feet. Why? Keenar said, well, y'all know I got our Knicks under 53.5, so all chill by me. As long as we flip the switch when the real ball starts. I mean, I was so certain, Keenar, we were going to get to that 55 win mark. Now I don't know. Tough start for the Knicks. Ken Robinson, what's up, Ken? Knicks, sorry, no defense. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Not giving the Knicks anything. Mark said, I'm in Toronto, literally at the Blue Jays game. Wanted to check in, leave a like, and say playoffs, please. Appreciate you, Mark. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy that game. Nick Yak said, my blood pressure. Yeah. Yankees, Baboon with the Yankees. Bruce Palace said, isn't there a golf match Mike Tirico couldn't be calling? Sound down, Sheffy of. Yeesh. Appreciate you, Bruce. Appreciate you. Mike said, Reggie ain't mad now. Shout out Reggie Miller, I guess. I haven't listened to a Reggie Miller call since we started doing this, and not going to lie, I've enjoyed basketball so much without having to hear him talk. J3, what's up, Jay? Digging the outfit? Yes, sir. We had to come correct to Houston, but it looks like the Knicks did not follow suit. The Knicks did not come correct to Houston. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? Sick of hearing Reggie. Like I said, thankfully, I haven't listened to Reggie Miller call a basketball game in about 4 years now, so. It's Jones. What's up, Jones? 1 point? 1 point's crazy. 1 point is crazy. 1 point on the board is not good. Ken said, what's up? Game starting off bad. If Cleveland beat the Lakers, Knicks are going to be in trouble. Yes, indeed, Ken. Yes, indeed. Cleveland right behind the Knicks in the loss column. The Knicks lose tonight, they will be tied in the standings with the Cavs. Obviously, the Cavs playing the Lakers here tonight, so we'll see how that game ends up. It's a late game, so we won't see the ending to that one. We will see probably the tip-off of it. Michael Rogers was a Michael. Lionel Mona is a Lionel. All I want for my birthday present is the Knicks win. Happy birthday, Lionel. I hope they give it to you. They always lose on my birthday, unfortunately. Just that said, Eason learned to just pass it to KD. Nick Yak, we really might need Sohan tonight with their wing size. I wouldn't be mad at it. I agree, Yak. I wouldn't be mad at it. We'll see how it plays out. Obviously, Mo Diawara is ahead of Sohan in kind of the rotation right now in the pecking order. But I wouldn't mind if he tried Sohan tonight just for size and defense. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. David Osh Jr. said it's better to be the 4th seed. Well, the 4th seed has to play Detroit in the second round, so I don't know if that is much better because the Knicks have not done well against the Detroit Pistons this season, so, Anunoby will line up a right wing 3 off the screen from Josh Hart. Got a decent look at it, didn't get it to go down. Durant well contested, and now here come the Rockets. Amen Thompson goes right through the chest of Jalen Brunson and knocks down a floater in the lane, just able to rise up over him and knock it down. Brunson did a good job of staying in front, but Thompson does much better job of just rising up and knocking down a floater over him. Now 14-1 start to the game, a 14-0 run, and Towns has in the post against Sengun, leans in, hook shot over Sengun, comes up short. And a couple of Rockets battling over the rebound there, goes out of bounds. It's going to stay here with the Knicks at least. But there's your post up for Karl-Anthony Towns, y'all. He misses the hook shot. There it is. Keenar said, I ain't scared of Detroit. I'm scared of Boston. I am the opposite, Keenar. I'm not afraid of Boston. And I'm not afraid of Detroit, per se. I don't love that wording. But that matchup makes me a little nervous. They have not done well in that matchup. Brunson gets it into Josh Hart. He's being guarded by Eason. 8:30 to go here. They get it up top to Brunson. Brunson to his right. Foul line pull-up jumper. Got it to go for Jalen Brunson. And our first made basket of the night, y'all. There it is. There it is. The Knicks sitting with 3 points now. 14-3. Here comes Kevin Durant bringing it down. Durant has it up top being guarded by Anunoby. The first time in a while, Anunoby's had like a direct matchup. You need to stop Kevin Durant tonight. And he has not been very successful in it. Sengun has it all the way out by the half-court line. Now by the three-point line. A lot of standing around for the Rockets. They hand it off to Durant. Durant got to make something happen to get it back to Sengun. He's got to fire 3 with the shot clock winding down, and he knocks it down. Sengun, a 30% three-point shooter. Missed the first one, knocks the second one down. Josh Hart hands it off to Bridges. Bridges kicks it out to Anunoby. Anunoby coming to his left off a Brunson screen, driving it down against Thompson. Why are we attacking Anunoby against Thompson? They kick it out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart with the pass fake, coming to his left across the lane, pulls it back out, leaves it off to Bridges. Bridges down to his left, kicks it out. Anunoby wide open left wing 3, and he misses it off the back rim. Rebound to Bridges, though. Leaves it off for Josh Hart. Josh Hart will take the paint. Step back, fall away 2. Got it, they go for Josh Hart. I'll take it any way we can get at this point. Give me points. Give me points on the board. Chaos Kid, what's up, Chaos Kid? Oh, goodness. 17-3. There is no reason to live. Amen Thompson up top gets it over to Durant. Durant swings through to his right off the Sengun screen. Pocket pass to Sengun. Has it at the high post. Kicks it out to Jabari Smith Jr. Extra pass to Eason. Eason to 3, and he got it to go down. We talked about Eason's slide from three-point range, but of course he's going to get hot here against the New York Knicks. It's 20-5. 15-point deficit for the Knicks. And Sengun knocks the ball away from Josh Hart. Amen Thompson off and running, leaves it off for Eason. Eason a big one-handed slam as the Rockets get off to a 22-5 start. And the Knicks absolutely horrendous so far here tonight. Josh Hart bringing it down the other way. He has it up top. Josh Hart trying to get it to Towns in the post. He's being guarded by Durant. Josh Hart walks into a pull-up 3, and Josh Hart knocks it down. Shoot the open ones, Josh. Shoot the open ones, just like that. Don't leave me open from 3. Suns Gen said, is Dylan Brooks triumphant return? He picked up a technical 1.5 minutes in. He's back, Suns Gen. He's back. Happy to see it. We'll check out that scoreboard. We will indeed check out that scoreboard. Sengun kicks out to Eason, who pump fakes, driving to his left, has it in the paint, spins, kicks it out to Durant. Durant, a 3 out of the right corner. Can't get it to go. Eason right there for a tip up and in. And now the Rockets, energized and ready to go, beating the Knicks to the extra effort 50-50 plays. Brunson attacking Thompson off the bounce, leans in, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, kicks it out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart on the left wing, back to Brunson. Brunson gets it over to Bridges. Bridges gets it over to Cat. Cat being guarded by Eason. Spins off of him, taking the baseline, leans in, puts up the hook shot, got it to go from Cat. There you go. There's our post up from Cat that we were asking for earlier in the game. He missed his hook shot earlier. He knocks that little flip hook shot along the baseline that time. Thompson has it up top, being guarded by Brunson. They get over to Eason, right wing three. The Knicks just lose track of him, and he rattles it in. Terrible defense from the Knicks, not even communicating who's guarding who. It's 27-10 start, just past the halfway point of this first quarter. An absolutely putrid start for our New York Knicks. Brunson has it on the left wing, being guarded by Jabari Smith Jr. Brunson gets it over to Bridges. Bridges catches, pump fakes, driving to his right in the paint, step back, pump fake, spins, fall away jumper over Thompson, high arcing, mid-range shot, got it to go down. Terrible shot, but he got it to go down, so I'm not going to complain too much. The Knicks have yet to really get much of a stop here tonight. We got Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson making their way to the scorer's table along with Jordan Clarkson. Thompson has it up top, being guarded by Josh Hart. Thompson gets it over to Durant. Durant gets it over to Sengun. Sengun up top, being guarded by Towns. Sengun, jab step, dancing with it against Towns, shovels it out to KD, coming to his right of the screen, pocket pass to Sengun, throws a lob up top to Thompson, throws it down with two hands, and the Knicks continue to get killed offensively here. They have no answers. They have no answers. They're getting absolutely picked apart defensively here tonight. It is disgusting. AP, what's up, AP? I cannot wait for the offseason. Hopefully they're celebrating on the parade. I'm with you, AP. I can't wait for the parade. I think we're thinking the same thing, AP. Can't wait for the parade, right? That's what we're talking about, the offseason. Can't wait for that parade. Zermax said this is embarrassing. They should be embarrassed. They should be wholly embarrassed. They're getting pantsed right now on national TV against the Houston Rockets. 29-12 start here tonight. Absolutely putrid defense. Keenar said a new dude in med school who was pathologically attached to the New York Giants. They would lose. He wouldn't be seen for days, sulking in his dorm. Told me he put his hand through the TV once. Crazy. That is crazy. Now, I love my New York Knicks. It is an undying love, right? There are the diehard fans. I refer to myself as a die never fan. I've seen it all. I've seen the ups. I've seen majority down, and I've been here through it all. I have never once been that angry at my team. Isaiah Gardner said, Lord, what am I watching? We're watching a pantsing on national television so far tonight. Now, look, here's the thing. The Rockets will eventually miss some shots. Hopefully. The Knicks will eventually play a little bit of better defense. Hopefully. This will be a closer game as the game goes on. Hopefully. But this is a putrid start, and the Knicks yet again find themselves playing from behind. Yet again. AP said, I hope this group gets broken up. That's what I want. I disagree. Dom Anthony said Knicks are not watchable. This game in particular is not watchable. Nick Yak said, here comes the energy from the bench. Yeah, and the bench consistently having the fight to bring this Knicks team back from being down double digits, man. Zene said, losing the KD's burner account is crazy work. Zermax said, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I get it. Crazy. Maybe it's just football that does it to people, man. Maybe people care too much about football. I don't know. Nikki said, do we need a new coach? What is the issue? I mean, look, I've said it before. Mike Brown was not the Knicks' first pick to be coach. Mike Brown, I've said it before as well, is a good coach. Not a great coach. He's a good coach. He was the best option available, so they went with Mike Brown. He is, to me, on the same level as Tom Thibodeau, just in a different way. He's got different issues, but also different strengths. And they thought that Mike Brown was a better fit for this team than Tom Thibodeau. Obviously, we'll see how the playoffs play out, but they will not be getting a new coach going into next season. I'd be very shocked if they did. I'd be very shocked. David Osh Jr. said, Mike Brown, blame, we so unprepared. Can't disagree. Captain Mastiff said, just in the nick of time. Appreciate you, Captain Mast. Appreciate you, brother. AP said, slow start after slow start. Mike Brown has refused to change the starting lineup. Yep. And you guys know my opinion. My opinion has always been Deuce McBride, and obviously Deuce McBride has been hurt. So, I get it, but a little disappointed we didn't experiment with the starting lineup earlier in the season more often, right? A little disappointed in that. My timer been going this whole time? No, we have 4:40 to go so far. Vic said, Brown or Nurse? I'm good on Nick Nurse. I don't want Nick Nurse. Doing too much said, yeah, our Knicks are cooked already. We don't come back from large leads. I don't know how long you've been around doing too much. That's kind of exactly what the Knicks do. They find themselves in the hole in very large deficits, and they come back. They always find a way. Now, hopefully, this is one of those nights. Hopefully. Not always. Brunson in the lane, pump fake, steps through, gets blocked from behind by Durant, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Knicks. 4:28 to go. Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? Timer going. Ahmed, let's see if I can pronounce your name, brother. Ahmed Al-Ghazali, what's up, Ahmed? Y'all think Towns can get 10 rebounds? He could. Robinson has it in the paint. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by Okogie. Ball will stay here with the Knicks yet again. They have 12 on their shot clock. Doing Too Much said not against elite teams. They literally did it to this Houston Rockets team. So if you're referring to the Houston Rockets as an elite team, they literally did it to the Houston Rockets the last time they played. Brunson lobs it down low to Robinson, and he guides it through the rim with one hand. There you go, Big Mitch. 14-29 now, okay. Durant bringing it down. He has it up top, being guarded by Hart now, with Anunoby and Bridges on the bench. We got Josh Hart, Clarkson, McBride, Brunson, and Robinson. An interesting group of guys out there. They call a foul on the Knicks on a reach-in on Durant that was handling the ball. Looked like maybe McBride or Josh Hart poked the ball loose from Kevin Durant. They bail him out with a foul call there. DCO Love said the issue is not playing the double big lineup. I think they could definitely go to that more often. I don't love the lack of double big lineups we've seen, but the double big lineup does not solve the Knicks' biggest issues. High layup off glass for Reed Shepherd. Got it to drop down nice and softly against Deuce McBride and Robinson there in the paint. Here comes McBride bringing it down the other way. Coming to his right off a double screen. McBride crosses over to his left, has it at the foul line, pump fake, steps through, kicks it out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart in the right corner. Josh Hart hits Brunson cutting to the rim, picks it up, pulls it back out, pass fake, keeps it. He's being guarded by Durant. Shot clock winding down. Brunson hesitation dribble, loses the hand on the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Ball back to the Rockets. And just really bad offense, really bad defense. Bruce said, this is the NBA. The Knicks will be down 15 by 5 at half. Hasn't anyone ever seen a basketball game? Yeah, 15 is not insurmountable. It's now 17, so there's that. But, yeah, it's still earlier in the game. We'll see how it continues to progress. If they don't, obviously, get this back to single digits, it's going to end up being a long night. Jordan Clarkson got beat off the dribble by Eason, but good hands to poke the ball loose from behind him, and the ball will stay here with the Rockets. Mike said, Knicks can't run with Houston, obviously. Well, the Knicks can't really run with too many teams. They're not a very fast team. They're a very methodical half-court team most of the time. Durant has it up top coming to his right. So is Houston. Houston doesn't really want to get off and run. Kevin Durant, a one-legged three over Mitchell Robinson, well contested. Ball knocked loose. Josh Hart able to recover it, and Josh Hart will bring it down the other way. Josh Hart then gets the ball knocked out of his hands by Okogie, but recovers it, kicks it out to Brunson. Brunson sees a double team. Now they retreat. Brunson in the lane, throws up the floater, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball, and it gets knocked out of bounds by Durant. It'll stay here with the Knicks. Eamon Owens, what's up, Eamon? Jonathan Gelwheeler, what's up, John? I need Brunson to hit 21 and Hart to grab 6 rebounds. I'm rooting for you, brother. Carl James, what's up, Carl? Brunson gets it into Robinson. Robinson up top. They're denying Brunson the ball, so instead he hands it off to McBride, who hesitates, spins, step back, mid-range, follow-away jumper for Deuce. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Rebound to Durant. And here comes Kevin Durant bringing it down the other way. Coming to his right off the Capella screen, slip past the Capella, down the lane, puts up the floater, can't get it to go. Rebound to Brunson. Brunson pushing it the other way. 31-14. Brunson up top, attacking to his right, down the lane, follow-away jumper in the paint. Got it to go for Jalen Brunson. Okay. Got to combine stops and scores. If they score, they don't get the stop. If they get the stop, they don't score. That time they got the score. Can you get the stop to pair it with? Amin Thompson has it up top, being guarded by Clarkson. Why is Clarkson guarding him out by the three-point line? He dribbles it into the paint, misses the shot off the back of the rim on the little about 10-foot pull-up jumper. McBride walks it down, pull-up straightaway three. Can't get it to go. Is ready to pop off for a McBride three. Ball knocked out of bounds by Clarkson. It'll go back to the Rockets here. 1:59 to go. We got 2 minutes left. 31 points for the Houston Rockets. 16 for the New York Knicks. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? Ram Jan said, come on, Knicks, let's go. This has been a brutal game. Reed Shepherd has it up top. Being guarded by McBride, coming to his right of a screen. Kicks it back out to Durant. Durant leans in against McBride, throws it up at the rim, draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. New Lord, what's up, New Lord? Brunson became number 1 option when Randall, then OG went down. Knicks failed to get a true number 1 option after they let Randall go with Brunson because Brunson not a number 1 option. Sure, brother, sure. Brunson's literally in the history books with Michael Jordan for playoff performances, but sure, brother, not a number 1 option. By the way, when Brunson was playing with Randall, as Durant misses the first free throw, he's got another one coming. Brunson was the number 1 option, not Randall. Student said, Kiniara, just a spin on words. I'm walking into the middle of a conversation again. MBM said, crazy takes, crazy takes. Crazy takes, indeed. Kevin Durant does knock down the second free throw at least. Anunoby is back in the game. Comes in for Josh Hart, I assume. He does indeed come in for Josh Hart. Brunson bringing it down the other way. It is a 16-point game. They get over to Robinson. Robinson has it up top. Hands it off to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left. Sengun switches out onto him. Pass fake. Kicks it out to McBride. Over to Clarkson. Clarkson swings through to his right. Mid-range pull-up jumper for Jordan Clarkson. Rattles it in for Jordan Clarkson. Way to go get me a bucket, Jordan Clarkson. It's a 14-point game. Look, if this is a 10 or below game, it'll be a success with the way they started this game. It's been terrible. Sengun lobs it down low to Jabari Smith Jr., sees a double team, pass fake, kicks it back out to Shepard, cross-court pass to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant being guarded by Clarkson. Durant coming to his left. They hedge out. Ball gets knocked loose. Sengun and McBride dive for it. Sengun falls on top of McBride. Please don't re-injure. Oh, that wasn't McBride, excuse me. That was OG Anunoby. Brunson down the lane, throws up top to Robinson, and he throws it down with two hands. Beautiful lob pass from Brunson, his second one of the game. It's a 12-point game with under a minute to go. Again, if they can get this to 10 or below, I'll be happy to some degree after a putrid start. Durant gets it into Sengun, kicks it in the corner, a wide open Reed Shepard, a terrible defensive possession there, ends up with a wide open three for Reed Shepard, and it's back to 15 just like that. Knicks continue to not pair stops and scores together. Brunson crosses over to his left on Thompson, driving it down in the lane, pump fakes, leans in, gets blocked by Thompson. Why are we attacking Amon Thompson one-on-one? Jalen Brunson, a terrible possession. Reed Shepard leaves it off for Durant, scoop layup, got it to go nice and easy. Terrible, terrible decision from Brunson there. Why are we attacking Amon Thompson one-on-one? Why? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Thompson. 37-20. Hoobian, what's up, Hoobian? Brunson coming to his right. Reed Shepard hedges out hard. They get it out to McBride. He puts up the three over Reed Shepard. Looks like it got blocked by Shepard. Robinson the offensive rebound, though. And they hack away at Robinson, sending him to the foul line for two with 7 seconds to go. All right. All right. New Lord said Brunson became 30 points a night in the playoffs when OG went down. Brunson was 30 points a night in the playoffs before OG Anunoby went down during the Sixers series, but sure, brother, sure. You're talking to a guy who's literally been here the entire Brunson regime, the entire Brunson era. The lives are available. Go watch them. Go look up the box scores. He had the first two games in that Philly series, he scored a little over 20 in each of them on poor efficiency. And then after that, absolutely smoked them. Robinson misses the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Mike said attacking the rim. They are attacking the rim. That's part of the problem. They got to move this ball around. They got to find open shooters. They got to finish in the rim when they do attack. Oof. New Lord said the 76ers one-leg Embiid. Yeah. And what does that have to do with Jalen Brunson being a 30-point per game scorer? Did I miss something, New Lord? Was Joel Embiid guarding Jalen Brunson? What are you talking about? MBM said Mo D should be in earlier. Is he getting now? He is in now. He's in for Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson has been playing well. Robinson missed the first free throw. Give me one, Mitch. Give me one. He does rattle in the second free throw. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Sengun bringing it down. Should be the final shot of the quarter at 16. Sengun spins off of Robinson in the lane, leans in, gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for two. And it was a 12-point game, and I had... I thought possibly we could hover around 10 going into the second quarter. Instead, it's ballooned back up to 16 with Sengun going to the foul line for two free throws. He can knock it up to the largest lead of the game, which would be 18. Keenar said Mike Brown hanging out with Jabari Smith's brain. Crazy. New Lord said, oh, you're a Brunson stan? Got it? Not at all, bro. Not at all, brother. I literally criticize Jalen Brunson all the time. I just, do it factually and not with made-up things that go on my own head. Zermax said, I thought Shaq retired. Why is he shooting free throws? Shaquille O'Neal was a far better free throw shooter than Mitchell Robinson, man. Far better. Greg Williams said 5 points in 25 seconds. Yup. Terrible defense for the Knicks. Keenar said, hate to say it, but Shaq and Wilt were better free throw shooters than Mitchie. Yup. Mitchell Robinson is flirting with having the worst free throw shooting season of all time. That unfortunate record is held as Sengun misses both free throws. The Knicks grab the rebound, and it's a 16-point game going into the second quarter. Not great. But yeah, Shaq and Wilt were like slightly over 50%, which is still not good. But they were like 55-ish% throughout their careers. Mitchell Robinson is flirting with possibly 40%, which is not good. Like I said, Ben Wallace holds that unfortunate distinction of having the worst free throw shooting of all time at like 36% or something like that. Whew. New Lord said Brunson was never a number one option till Randall went out. All right, brother. You clearly do not watch the Knicks with a keen eye, my man. Till Randall went out, wasn't the guy they build around, is what you're not understanding. I just don't think you really understand NBA basketball, big dog, but I can't really help you in that regard. He said, the dog catcher said, see, hypnotist. Maybe they can get Mitch out of it. Literally the lowest bar I could set is can we get Mitchell Robinson to 50%? That's, and he can't. He can't so far. He did split the free throws there, so he's sitting at 50% for the game so far. That's the lowest bar I could set, man. Get off my lawn record said Mitch was the only good. Mitch was solid. Mitch walked away with 5 points, 2 for 3 from the field, 2 rebounds since coming into the game. We got to see some double big lineups here tonight. The Knicks are not matching up size-wise or physicality-wise with the Houston Rockets right now, man. It's not good. It's not good. David Hodge Jr. says these slow starts are going to kill us in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, not playing well is going to kill you in the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, we'll see if it's a slow start. It might just be a bad game from the Knicks. It might just be one of those nights where we just get ran off the court and they never make the comeback. That is for sure still on the table. Gigi said if the Knicks don't make the finals, everyone is on the table, including Brunson. Dolan is closely watching. Ian Begley has already reported that the Knicks are really not going to trade Brunson. Whether you like Brunson or not, the front office loves Brunson. Literally, his godfather is the president of the Knicks. So unless James Dolan himself comes down and says trade Jalen Brunson, the Knicks will not be doing that. As far as everybody else, yeah, everybody else is going to be on the table. David Hodge Jr. said Mike Brown does not have us prepared. I will say this, David. Now the Knicks didn't struggle to start games as poorly as they have this year versus last year, but the starting lineup for the Knicks was also very poor for the Knicks last season. And this is the same starting lineup with Josh Hart in there instead of a guy like either Robinson or McBride or Shamet or all the other guys, all the other options we've talked about all season long. Today, Cowboys said, I seriously cannot stomach the starters tonight. I'd rather watch the bench players. We'll see them here in the second quarter. We saw a little bit of it in the first quarter here. We'll see if they got anything for us here tonight. Doing too much. Said Cat looks like he doesn't even want to be on this team anymore. Cat goes through these stretches. We know this. New Lord said Brunson was brought in to be a point guard for Randall. How people forget he was never the number one option till everyone went down. Yeah, he was initially brought in to do that until they were like, oh, this guy's the best player on the team. And then everything shifted to being Jalen Brunson's team. It was never really an option. It was Randall's team for about like 20 games in Brunson's first year before they were like, oh, this is now Jalen Brunson's team. Yeah. Tanaj said Pistons gave up 20 points in the first quarter on back-to-back against Toronto Raptors. We can go around the league real quick before we start the second quarter. Randy, what's up, Randy? Terrible. There's literally nothing positive I can say about our Knicks tonight. We're searching for something positive. Abdullah, what's up, Abdullah? Sengun, he's hooping all over the Knicks right now. Yeah, they gave up 20 points to the Raptors in the first quarter. Great defense for the Pistons. As for the Knicks, they gave up 37. Towns has it up top, and he gets fouled by Almond Thompson. All right, they called a foul. They called a foul for Karl Anthony. Oh, that's not Almond Thompson. That's Jayshawn Tate. My bad to Jayshawn Tate. Keenan Hart said, yeah, why are we talking about what attitudes were about JB before people realized he was really good? Is that relevant? Not relevant. Not relevant at all. Towns driving it down the lane, kicks it out to Alvarado up top. Jab step puts up the three for Sengun, and he gets it to go down. Jose Alvarado, can you give us something tonight? Are you finding your stroke here with the New York Knicks? Because we need you. We need you, man. Anunoby has it up top. Gets it over to Sengun. And they call a foul on Jose Alvarado. Attached to Aaron Holiday, who's in the game. Young Gifted, what's up, Young Gifted? Alpo Sengun, I assume. Alperen Sengun. He's hooping on the Knicks tonight, man. He's getting whatever he wants. Doing too much that our problem for our slow starts is because our offense is too stagnant. Yeah, well, we either get a Towns isolation or we get a Brunson isolation. We're not getting too much from our other guys. They kick it out to Jayshawn Tate for a three. Off the back rim, long rebound. Alvarado knocks the ball loose off the Sengun rebound. Out to Holiday. He puts up the three. Can't get it to go. Towns knocks the rebound over to Thompson. Thompson kicks it out to Jabari Smith Jr. 3 open threes, and they miss all 3 of them. The Knicks catch a break on that terrible defensive possession there. Alvarado has it up top. Coming to his right. He's being guarded by Tate. Jose Alvarado hands it off to Anunoby. Anunoby coming to his left. Anunoby leans in, stops, pulls it out. Ball away, foul line jumper for OG Anunoby, and he got it to go down. It's an 11-point game. The bench getting us back into it as they usually do. Amin Thompson under the basket, keeps the Nash dribble alive, now shovels it out to Sengun. Sengun up top being guarded by Anunoby. Sengun directing traffic. Sengun coming to his left. Kicks it out to Holiday. Holiday, the straightaway 3 over Anunoby. Can't get it to go. Good boxing out by the Knicks. Towns with the rebound. Quick outlet to Jose Alvarado, who has it on the right wing. Alvarado coming to his left over the Towns up top. Towns pump fakes. Back to Alvarado. He pump fakes. Kicks it over to Clarkson. Clarkson pump fakes. Spins off of Jabari Smith Jr. Fall away jumper over Tate. And he got it to go down. It's a 9-point game. They got it to single digits. And it's a timeout for the Houston Rockets. No, it's not. My bad. It is. Never mind. I was wrong again. It is a timeout for the Houston Rockets. It's a 9-point game. The bench. The bench. The bench. My goodness. Maybe we need to switch up rotations. Mike Brown, maybe the rotations we're going to early in this game. Listen, you want to play the starters? Fine. Sub one of these guys out earlier. Bring another one of these guys in earlier. Sub Brunson out earlier. Brunson does not need to play the first 12 minutes of the game, man. What are we doing? It has not worked. It is not a good rotation move. I would pull Karl-Anthony Towns out early, because clearly we don't play through Towns early. So that's fine. Pull Karl-Anthony Towns out early. Put Mitchell Robinson in around the 7-minute mark, 8-minute mark. I don't care. And then bring him back in. Where are we at? 10-13 to go. Then bring him back in to end the first. Then pull Brunson out in that point at like the 3-minute mark. Put Alvarado in. Why are we not cycling these guys in and out much faster? Why do we have to stick with Brunson for the first 12 minutes of the game? Why does Karl-Anthony Towns only play the first 6 minutes of the first quarter? Or why does he play the first 6 minutes of the first quarter when we don't really utilize him in the first quarter? Which is fine. I'm fine with that. We're going to play through Brunson. Fine, we'll play through Brunson. But then can we get to Jalen Brunson stuff that works for him faster? Because clearly this starting lineup does not work for Brunson, nor does it work for Karl-Anthony Towns. So this configuration of players of Alvarado, Clarkson, multiple ball handlers, by the way, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, 2 wings to help him defensively, and Karl-Anthony Towns works for Karl-Anthony Towns. Why are we sticking with things that are just not working for the Knicks? Why do we, listen, if you want to stick with the starting lineup, fine. Clearly we can't convince you to change it. We weren't able to convince Tom Thibodeau. It makes me think that there are egos in the way, namely Josh Hart's ego, in which he's talked about earlier in the season when he wasn't starting, how he feels like he's a starter, but he'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. If that means coming off the bench, it means coming off the bench. Clearly was sulking about not starting. So it leads me to believe that Josh Hart's ego is at least part of the reason, if not majority of the reason, as to why Josh Hart is in the starting lineup. And you guys know I love me some Josh Hart. I love me some Josh Hart. I want 25 to 30 minutes of Josh Hart. Just maybe not to start the game. Maybe to come off the bench early. Again, if we had Towns play the first 4 minutes of the game instead of the first 6, in a stretch where we don't really utilize Karl-Anthony Towns that much offensively, anyway in the first quarter, and then pulled Josh Hart in, along with Mitchell Robinson, which clearly a lineup that works better for Brunson because they're better screeners and they're better rollers to the rim, and you can pull the center away, get the center off of Josh Hart to start games, but also then have the center come in, and he can't guard Josh Hart because now you got Robinson in the game, and then the center has to guard Robinson. For all of the praise I was willing to give Mike Brown about 50 games into the season for the experimentation he was doing, to ultimately settle on this rotation, I don't like it. I don't like it. Too reminiscent of last year. Why are you here if we're running similar things that we were running last year? What is the point of all of that? What is the point of all of that? Right? We might as well should have just kept Tom Thibodeau if this is what we're going to be doing. Gigi said, let's be honest here. Since that shot Brunson hit against Detroit, when was the last time he took over any game to give us the win? He's not SGA, but seeing SGA score 9 points to take over, JB hasn't done it. I mean, Jalen Brunson's not SGA. Nobody's SGA. SGA is in a tier all by himself. He's literally going to be a 2-time MVP. Brunson has never seriously been in consideration for the MVP. Like, there are levels to this, for sure. But, yeah, Jalen Brunson has not been the closer that he was last year. I mean, he was brilliant last year. It's hard to replicate that this season, but yeah, which is why the Knicks shouldn't be wholly reliant on Brunson at all. And they have been. A pull-up jumper for Jabari Smith Jr. He gets fouled by Clarkson. It's going to send him to the foul line for 2 free throws to to come back out of this timeout. 9:51 to go here. New Lord said Brunson needs a true number 1 option after Randall left that can defend. Front office is to blame for this. I don't know what to tell you, New Lord. You got to clean the glasses, or you got to watch more basketball, or you got to listen to more people who know more basketball to truly understand what goes on in basketball. Your opinion is just very, very wrong. You can have your opinion. That's fine. You could have that. But it is a very wrong opinion. Literally backed up by almost any other statistical measure I could throw at you. Eye test, advanced metrics, counting stats, all of it in favor of Jalen Brunson. But Kinar said, SGA is a quality defensive player that JB can never be. Absolutely. He ain't even the 3rd best defensive player on his own team. He's not even the 4th or 5th best defensive player on his own team. He might not even be the 6th best defensive player on his own team. Jabari Smith Jr. knocks down both free throws. Alvarado bringing it down. Back to 11. Alvarado gets it over to Towns. Towns up top, being guarded by Tate, coming to his right off the Alvarado screen. Towns down the lane. Foul line floater off the back rim. Rebound back to Towns. Out to Anunoby. Right wing 3 on the relocation. Can't get it to go off the back rim. Bridges knocks it out to Alvarado. His straightaway 3. He rattles it in. Jose Alvarado. 2 threes here tonight, and we absolutely need Jose Alvarado to find his shot again. Like I said, I like the way he played the other day against the Thunder in the stint after he first came in to start that second quarter. And I like the way he's played so far here tonight. Tate hatches it, pump fake, spins off of Clarkson, down the lane, gets blocked by OG Anunoby at the rim, loose ball, finds its way, trickles out to Jabari Smith Jr., swings through to his right, kicks out to Holiday, pump fakes, now puts up the 3 at the buzzer, throws up an air ball. That's not Holiday, by the way. That was Alperen Thompson. These guys have the same hairstyle with the same headband. You got one of you's got to change your hairstyle or rock a different headband or different hairstyle. I don't know what to say. Too similar. The only way to differentiate them is that Alperen Thompson is very tall. Towns has it up top, being guarded by Sengun on the switch, driving to his right, leans in, and a foul on Sengun. Sengun calling for a challenge to his bench. We'll see if they use it. Ime Udoka looking at his bench. And they're going to use a challenge? Nope, they're not going to use a challenge. They didn't get to the challenge in time. That definitely looked like an offensive foul on Karl-Anthony Towns as he went right into Sengun. But Karl-Anthony Towns gets the benefit of the call. He's got 2 free throws. New Lord said Brunson can't defend to be a number 1 option. Defense has nothing to do with being a number 1 option. If we're talking about being a number 1 option, we're talking about offense. New Lord said, I've been watching longer than you. I'm 16 years old. Age literally doesn't mean anything. You've been watching movies longer than me as well, but I could literally explain to you exactly how movies work in a way that you wouldn't understand. Just because you watch does not mean you know. Thompson has it up top, coming to his right, behind the back, steps back, being guarded by Anunoby. Thompson pulls it back out. Thompson coming to his right of his double screen, step back, fall away baseline jumper. Keeping Alperen Thompson out on the perimeter has been fantastic. Anunoby skies for a rebound, hit ahead past to Clarkson in the paint, pump fake, leans in, layup, got it to go for Jordan Clarkson, and just like that, it's a 4-point game, y'all. It is a 4-point game. The bench has pulled the Knicks back into this. My goodness. Can we change our rotations? Can we change our starting lineup? Clearly, things are not working in this iteration of the team. Jabari Smith Jr. has it up top, gets it over to Sengun, down the lane, kicks it over to... is that Tate? That's Tate. Nice pass from Sengun. That's not Tate. That's Thompson. We gotta change. We gotta change hairstyles here, guys. We gotta change hairstyles here. Towns has it up top, being guarded by Tate. Sengun switches onto him. Towns pump fakes, driving to his left, pulls it back out, swings it out to Alvarado. Alvarado coming to his right, being guarded by Thompson. Leans in, throws up the floater. Got it to go. I love Jose Alvarado. I love the game he's playing here tonight. Absolutely adore it. And it's not just the shot making, although that has a big thing to do with it because he was not making shots previously. Thompson gets it over to Sengun. Sengun being guarded by Towns. Sengun hands it off to Jabari Smith Jr. Swings through to his left. He's being guarded by Clarkson. Foul line pull-up jumper. Got it to go for Jabari Smith Jr. And it's a foul on the Knicks. A loose ball foul. Who hit the floor? Sengun. And it's going to be now an and one situation for 1 free throw for Sengun. They're going to show the replay here. All right. All right. 6-foot Jose Alvarado knocks over 6'10" Alperen Sengun, who's giving up like 50 pounds. Okay. Sure. Lana Mona said 4-point game. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope. Keno Hara said, at New Lord, and I'm 59 and you are talking nonsense using terminology like number one option when you appear to be talking partially about defense. Some people have it in their mind that they know exactly what they're talking about and they're not interested in conversation. They're interested in being right, and that's about it. And it's like, we could have a conversation about Brunson and his deficiencies, but the things that you are saying make absolutely no sense. Anunoby misses a left corner three. Here comes Reed Shepard bringing it down the other way. Sengun has it up top. Gets it over to Shepard. Shepard coming to his right, off the Sengun screen. Shepard coming to his left, stops, crosses over to his right. Good defense from Clarkson to stay in front. Reed Shepard pulls it out, steps back. Great defense from Clarkson. Great defense from Clarkson. Shepard hands it off to Thompson. Shot clock winding down. Thompson attacking down the lane. Gets caught in the air, kicks it out. Eason, left corner three. He's open and he splashes it, nothing but net. And Jose Alvarado getting caught sleeping there as Eason relocates to the corner, knocks down a three. And again, Eason has been absolutely terrible from three for a very long stretch here that has torpedoed his three-point percentage from 47% down to 37%, a 10 percentage point drop in shooting for Tari Eason. Yeah, here tonight, 2 for 2 from 3 for 3 from three-point range for Tari Eason, I believe, right? He's 5 for 5 from the floor. Yep. Everybody comes alive when it's time to play the Knicks. It's your boy. What's up, your boy? Can I see Houston stats? My bad, brother. My bad, brother. 13 points for Eason, 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for Jabari Smith Jr., 4 for Sengun on 1 for 2. He also has 6 assists, only 2 rebounds for Sengun so far tonight. Thompson with 6, 3, and 3, and Reed Shepard with 5 points, 2 boards, and an assist. We'll go over the broader box scores at halftime as usual. The lead has ballooned back up to 10, by the way. It's almost as if we should have made a substitution at some point during that run so our guys didn't get, tired. Mike Brown making one substitution a quarter is not what he was doing earlier in the season when we saw a lot of our success. Don't like that. DCO Love said, without Brunson. It's almost as if we shouldn't play Brunson the entirety of the first quarter. It's almost as if we should get the bench in sooner and then have Brunson come in and play alongside other guys on the bench. And we shouldn't have Brunson play in his entire stretch. It's almost as if we should change up our rotations, man. I'm not even asking to change the starting lineup. The rotations, I don't like them. I don't like them here tonight, and I haven't liked them for a while. I get trying, but I haven't liked them. Greg Williams said, KD fighting hard to save his reputation. Astrofog? Astro? What's up, Astro? Is that the Pharrell or Cam Newton hat? This is Smokey the Bear, man. This is the Smokey the Bear hat. They trying to get a Smokey the Bear drip. Let's not act like Smokey the Bear didn't popularize the hat. Shout out Cam Newton. Shout out Pharrell. This is that Smokey the Bear hat. Simon Josh said, at halftime, please bring the red hat out. You thinking maybe I'm cursing the Knicks? Maybe it's a jinx? Maybe the outfit's a jinx? Astro said, okay, I wasn't familiar with your game. Shout out Pharrell, shout out Cam Newton, but this is that Smokey the Bear drip. Let's be real. He had it first. Darnell said, glad you're not wearing the red hat because that's the playoffs hat, logo lucky hat. Hopefully. Why are we sitting on this screen? Let's go around the league a little bit. Let's look at the scores before we come back from this timeout break. Jason said, opinion is just that opinions are valid based on the definition of an opinion. I can't invalidate someone's opinion because by definition is their own. The opinion might just be based on facts. Right. But when your opinion is based on your feeling and has nothing factually backing it up, then I can't really engage in conversation with your opinion because there is nothing to engage with. The Raptors and the Pistons are locked in a tight one. The Hornets are up by 15 on the Nets here. Like I said, should be an easy one. The Magic up by 5 on the Suns. The Magic have had a tough fall, man. A tough fall. Jason said that was in response to someone else. Now you might. I know that, Jason. I got you, brother. I'm with you on this one. Absolutely. But again, majority of you in the chat disagree with the things I say all the time. That's fine. We could disagree. And we could have conversations about it. That's fine. But just being like, this is how I feel and that's it, and I'm right because I'm 60 years old and I've been watching basketball for a long time. Like, okay, man, just because you watch something doesn't mean you know what's going on the court. As a matter of fact, if you're an older fan, I might look at you sideways being like, do you understand fully what's going on in the NBA and the coverages that are being played in comparison to back in the day? Like, it's almost a completely different sport to 20, 30 years ago. Heck, even 10 years ago. Like, the reason why you listen to a ton of podcasts and a ton of opinions is because you learn so much about the game with the way it's being played. It's so much more complex than it used to be. Towns contests the Jabari Smith Jr. pull-up jumper, misses it. Here comes Brunson bringing it down the other way. The Knicks have the double big lineup out there. Brunson, Robinson, Towns, McBride, and Josh Hart. Interesting lineup. I kind of like it. And I think this is low-key the Knicks one of the best five-man units the Knicks can go to. McBride remains an offer from the field. He did not knock down a shot against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant, a straightaway three, comes up short. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. Going to go back to the Knicks. And he remains scoreless here tonight. He is now 0 for 4 from the field tonight. So, not looking good. Looking good. Lana Mona says, it's not the 90s basketball anymore. I mean, they built off of it. They built off of 90s basketball. And we got 2000s basketball. And then they built off of that to get 2010s basketball. And we built off of that to get the 2020s basketball. There's so much to learn. Like, there are times where I go to social media to specific people who are, talking about specific sets that the Knicks run. And I learn a lot. And there's times where I go to national media podcasts to listen to people talk about other teams. And I learn a lot from them. It's an entire learning process. Do I know everything that's going on? No. I have my opinions about what's going on. I have my thoughts about what's going on. Josh Hart, right corner three, knocked me down. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Durant. But we could all come to different conclusions as long as they're, Reed Shepard, a pull-up three, got it to go over McBride. And the lead is ballooned back up to 13. Why is my scoreboard so off? Oh, because I gave 1 point to the wrong side. It is 50-37 now. A 9-0 run for the Rockets if the Knicks cut it to 4 or 6. Josh Hart in the Robinson. Robinson, pass fake. McBride, wide open left corner three, line me up. McBride remains 0 from the field. This is why you wanted McBride back for a couple of regular season games so he can shake off the rust. Kevin Durant throws the slip pass down to Capella. Capella kicks it out. Eason, right corner three, wide open. It's the top of the backboard. My goodness, that's more like Guitar Eason. Here comes Deuce McBride bringing it down. McBride has it up top. It's a 13-point deficit yet again. Ball knocked out of his hands by Shepard. Shepard gets a clean run out for a two-handed slam. McBride, a rough game for Deuce McBride. My timer gone? My timer is gone. Keep going, timer. Keep going. There you go. And Deuce McBride finally knocks one down. I literally looked down to make sure our timer is going, and he finally knocks down a three out of the left corner. There you go, Deuce. And he throws his hands up in frustration like finally a shot went down for me. 1 for 6 from the field now. Shepard kicks it over to Durant. Durant attacking to his right. Down the lane, kicks it back out to Shepard. Catches, ran off the line by McBride. Excellent defense. Foul line pull-up jumper, and he got it to go down. That's good defense from Deuce McBride, though. Just better offense from Reed Shepard. Under 4 minutes to go. Josh Hart has it on the right wing. Coming to his left off the Robinson screen. Driving it down in the lane. Throws a lob up top to Robinson. He can't get the lob to go down. Well contested by Capella. Bad pass from Hart. They get it over to Durant. Durant skies for a one-handed slam. And he stares at the crowd. And it's 56-40. Brunson bringing it down the other way. And the lead is right back up to 16. Back where it was before. Towns swings through to his left. Hands it off to Josh Hart. Josh Hart pulls it out. Gets it over to Towns. Left wing. Being guarded by Jabari Smith Jr. Swings through to his left, down the lane, puts up the fall-away baseline shot, can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Robinson and Josh Hart collide. They kick it out. McBride pump fakes, resets himself, puts up the three, can't get it to go. Rebound to Eason. Whew. Not looking good. Not looking good. Shepard has it up top. Being guarded by McBride. Coming to his right off the Jabari Smith Jr. screen. Brunson switched on to Shepard. Coming to his left. Steps back. Pump fakes. Over to Eason. Eason trying to get it back to Shepard. Good denial defense from Brunson. Shepard runs over Brunson, and it's an offensive foul on Reed Shepard. And Reed Shepard immediately signals for that to be challenged. And I don't think they will do so. And the bench, the coaches in the back who are responsible for making the decision on whether or not the challenge, who are looking at the replay on the iPad, they look up at Reed Shepard and Ime Udoka and they go, like, nah, he fouled him. He ran him over. Gigi said, Brown is terrible. How can he see this and still allow this to happen? Why go away from what's working? I think he didn't. And I think that's the problem, Chi-Chi, is the team adapted to what the Knicks were doing, and instead of subbing somebody in during the run, he stayed with the lineup for 6 straight minutes instead of subbing somebody else in to give a different look to the Rockets. And the Rockets adjusted, and now they built the lead back up to 16. And an off-ball foul on Kevin Durant. And I talked about this in the pregame in the sense that the Knicks don't dictate the game. The Knicks are often reacting to what the other team is doing instead of enforcing their will on the game. And this is another scenario to it where they reacted to what the Rockets did in the first quarter, adjusted in the second quarter, and then when the Rockets adjusted, the Knicks were caught flat-footed and have yet to adjust. They are not proactive in their offensive flow or even their defensive game plan. They are reactive. Brunson flips it up at the rim over Thompson, got that one to go. A bad shot, but he got it to go down. Another bad offensive possession for the Knicks, where they relied on Jalen Brunson to bail them out at the end there. Shepherd kicks it over to Capella. Capella gets it over to Durant. Durant being guarded by Anunoby. He puts up the 3 on the left wing. He got it to go down. Kevin Durant's got the shot tonight, and the Knicks have no answer. They got no answer. Dog Catcher said, watch LeBron and Steve Nash recent Mind the Game podcast to get their perspective about how officiating rules of the NBA have changed over the years. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can hate LeBron all you want. The Mind the Game podcast has proven to be like a pretty good podcast. Right corner 3 for Anunoby off the nice pass from Mikal Bridges after creating it, attacking the paint. Quick outlet to Thompson, over to Durant. Durant gets it over to Thompson at the last second for a 2-handed slam out on transition as the Knicks don't get back on defense quick enough, and it's ballooned up to 19, the largest lead of the game for the Houston Rockets here. Mike said this is pathetic. They got it to 4. They had it to 4, and they allowed it to balloon back up to this. Brunson crosses over to his left, down the lane, leans in, kicks it out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart swings through to his right. Against Shepherd, he bullies his way in the paint, throws up the floater, and he got it to go down. 61-44. 1 minute to go. Zane said they're cooking us flambe style. Thompson all the way to the paint, gets the layup and the foul. And I think the Knicks have had a pathetic game plan here tonight against the Rockets, and I think they've been absolutely pathetic in their execution of that game plan. Compounding a bad game plan with a bad performance is where they find themselves right now. 44-61. They get it into Eason, swings through to his left. Eason keeping it, hands it off to Shepherd. Shepherd ran off the screen, and Robinson ends up fouling Eason. Dom Anthony said Durant single-handed beats the Knicks. I mean, the last time they matched up, that was not the case. Here tonight, though, Kevin Durant, 18 first half points so far, 7 for 10 from the field, 4 boards, 4 assists, literally doing whatever he wants against the New York Knicks. The Knicks are hedging out hard in any handoff action the Rockets are running, and in doing so, Kevin Durant is just throwing slip pass after slip pass after slip pass after slip pass after slip pass into the middle of the lane, and whether it's Shepherd or Eason or Capella or Sengun, the Rockets have just feasted on, after that, playing 4-on-3 basketball, and they've almost converted on every single one of those slip pass plays. Simon Jaw said this group is not playing defense. Not right now. I think the game plan has been poor. I don't think the effort has been poor. I think the game plan has been poor, and I think the execution has been worse. Keno Harris said Durant has shown he doesn't have any mental toughness whatsoever. He isn't gonna get. He ain't getting any none. He ain't getting none of his chips without Steph, Clay's, and Dre. So we're not cooked yet. It is a 19-point deficit with 1 minute to go in the second quarter. It's not looking good. Brunson has it up top. Coming to his left off the Town screen. Pass fake. Kicks it out to Anunoby. Driving to his left. Spins to his right. Down the lane. Eason digs down. Knocks the ball out of Anunoby's hands. He falls down. Saves it out to Josh Hart. And a double dribble on Josh Hart. And the Houston Rockets are just applying a ton of pressure and playing very physical against the New York Knicks and taking advantage of the fact that they have no ball handlers outside of Jalen Brunson. No ball handlers outside of Brunson. Why is my score so off all the time? Why did I give 2 points to the Knicks? It's 44-63. Oh, because I gave it 2 points to the wrong side. My bad. 44-63. It's a 19-point game. Rich Smith said OG and Bridges need to step up. And we talked about this in the pregame. They struggle to create for themselves. Slip pass from Durant to Sengun. A 3 for Shepherd. Can't get it to go down. Knicks catch a break. Brunson over to Hart. Hart bringing it down over to Bridges. Right corner 3 from Mikal Bridges. He rattles it in. Reed Shepherd bringing it down the other way. It is I forgot the timer, 24 seconds to go. It is about a 5-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Durant has it up top being guarded by Anunoby. If they can get a stop and then maybe another score, it'll at least be 14 or 13. Eason down the lane, lefty layup, can't get it to go. Towns snatches a rebound, great defense and rebound from Towns. Brunson and the Knicks pushing the other way as Eason hit the floor. Brunson crosses over to his left on Sengun, down the lane, foul line, tries to get it down low to Towns. Beautiful pass, Towns, Anunoby at the buzzer, got it to go. It's a 13-point game. I'll take it. What a pass from Karl-Anthony Towns. Anunoby knocked it down, 2 straight threes for the Knicks, cut 6 points off the lead down to 13. Obviously not a good position to be in for the New York Knicks. Not a good position at all. They have had a very poor performance from almost every aspect. Their offense has been poor, their defense has been worse. And the Knicks find themselves trailing by 13. So not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world. MBM said 6-0 run believe. Let's go through the box scores. We could probably break down a couple of things about the Houston Rockets knocking down a bunch of threes so far tonight. They're not a very good three-point shooting team. But Durant has it going. Eason had it going. Shepherd started to get it going a little bit, so... Isaac Arnett said, yeah, sure, I haven't realized, but Brown's rotation is messing up the Knicks offense. Yeah, I don't love it, man. I don't love it. Randy said, love your communication skill. Appreciate you, Randy. Appreciate you. Shottage said, I hope James Dolan knows that he has to make a massive move this offseason. The coach has to go because these guys are not playing hard. I disagree, Shottage, in the playing hard thing. I think they're playing hard. Again, I think it's not a very good game plan tonight, which, to your point about the coach, I don't love the game plan tonight. And I've talked about this constantly tonight, probably to an annoying degree, but I don't love the rotations either that Mike Brown has utilized tonight, and he has utilized for the past, 15 games or so. I don't love his rotation patterns. We talk about the starting lineup all the time, but if we know he's not changing the starting lineup anytime soon with the end of the regular season winding down here. But if we start looking at the rotations, I don't love the rotations either right now. But I don't think this team is not playing hard. I think the team is playing hard. I just think the game plan is bad and the execution is worse. Even if the game plan was bad, if they executed it well, maybe it could work. But their execution has been poor. And I get maybe misinterpreting poor execution for poor effort. I think they're trying their butts off. But their execution has been all over the place. Again, I don't love the game. And let me be specific then, talking about the game plan. To me, it looks like the game plan is to hedge out hard in any handoff action the Houston Rockets are running, right? Just from what I'm seeing, the Knicks, so Sengun has it in the high post, and he'll hand it off to Kevin Durant, who's curling around. Kevin Durant catches the handoff, and the guy who's guarding Sengun, let's say it's Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to hedge out, step out from in front of Sengun, guarding him, hedge out to Durant. The guy who's chasing Durant is OG Anunoby. So OG Anunoby is on the backside of Durant, chasing him over the handoff action. Karl-Anthony Towns steps out to hedge against the handoff action. In doing so, Durant catches the handoff and just immediately splits the defense by throwing a slip pass between the two defenders because neither of them are positioned directly in front of Durant because Karl-Anthony Towns is hedging out hard to accept Durant coming towards him. And OG Anunoby is trailing him, trying to get around the handoff action. So Kevin Durant gets the handoff and throws an immediate slip pass to Sengun, who knows the slip pass is coming because clearly the Rockets have scouted the Knicks defense. Probably the last time they guarded him is how it happened. And Sengun catches it on the slip, and now he looks up, and 2 defenders are behind him. 3 defenders are in front of him. 4 of his teammates are in front of him. He can throw to either corner. He could dump it down low to the dunker spot, or he by himself can throw up a lob. Or take one dribble and go to the rim and get a layup. Obviously, if somebody steps up, it's a drop-off pass for a dunk. If a guy hugs in from the corner to take away the drop-off pass, Sengun can throw a pass fake and then kick it to the corner. Or immediately look to the drop-off, look to the dunker spot on the drop-off pass and then swing it to the corner. And that has happened consistently in that first quarter, in that first half. Consistently. I counted 4 or 5 in the second quarter alone in which Kevin Durant just Hit a very simple slip pass. Whether it's Jabbar Smith Jr. or Tari Eason or Sengun or Shepard or Thompson or any of these other guys, the Houston Rockets are just catching it and going 4-on-3 against the Knicks. But again, I forgot to do this. Let me do this real quick. Shout out to our halftime sponsors. So that halftime segment right there is brought to you by our guys over at Get Off My Lawn Records. Their band, the Jazz Destroyers. You can go listen to them. They're very good people over there. They can take care of you. Go check out getoffmylawnrecords.com. Just check it out. Whether you are into music or not, check out getoffmylawnrecords.com. You can listen to the Jazz Destroyers music there. You can listen to any of their other artists' music on the website as well. You can check out their YouTube channels, getoffmylawnrecords.com. Also, the Jazz Destroyers YouTube channel as well to get a listen to the music before visiting their website. You can sign up for their mailing list as well to get notified whenever they themselves or any of their music artists drop new music. And they were also generous enough to give us a discount code at bandcamp.com, so you can use promo code Sheffy to get 20% off site-wide using promo code Sheffy. So with that being said, shout out our guys at Get Off My Lawn Records. I very much appreciate their support for the community here. And they are in the chat. You can check them out. They're constantly in here all the time. Appreciate those guys. Love them over there. They're great people. Coach James said, how Coach Brown used players for you? Like, how do I think he's used the players? Like, not great. Not great, Carl. I don't love it. Like, the Knicks have a lot of good players, but a lot of them have very limited capabilities. Like, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby aren't great ball handlers. They're very straight-line drivers. They're not going right and then crossing over left and then spinning back right. Like, every now and again, you could see OG Anunoby try to make a move like that, but it always looks a little clunky, whether it works out or not, Gigi said a lot of fans are fed up with the way they're playing. I'm with you, brother. I'm one of those fans, too. He said, I'm very annoyed with the way they played. I'm 100% certain they will go all the way. With all these changes and knowing what's at stake, there's no way they don't have a plan in mind. I'm not as confident in you, Chichi, by saying 100% they don't go all the way. But I have faith in this team because their ceiling is very high. But they have not consistently hit that ceiling. That's the annoying part with this team, man. That's the annoying part with this team. Keen Har said, well, sure, Udoka is a great coach. I wanted us to get him, but Houston wasn't stupid enough to let him go. I will say, Keen Har, there's been a lot of chirping around the way Ime Udoka has coached the Houston Rockets this year in terms of not getting the best out of his players, sticking with that starting lineup that they've stuck with, not getting Reed Shepard in there. A lot of people feel like Reed Shepard should start, by the way. 12 points, 5 or 6 from the field for Reed Shepard. So there's a lot of conversation about Ime Udoka and how stubborn he is. A lot of people feel like he's Tom Thibodeau, a new age Tom Thibodeau. I think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach, though. I think he's got some ways to go. I got to see some play. I don't even need a championship from Udoka, but I do need to see Ime Udoka make some waves in the playoffs before I start calling him a great coach. He's gotten some nice victories in the playoffs, but I'm not at great yet with Udoka. I'm at very good coach. Can obviously pull you out of the doldrums, kind of like Tom Thibodeau. Again, I feel like he's a new age Tom Thibodeau. Like he's a new version of Tommy Tibbs. But Carl James said, yeah, Chef, same here. Coach Brown has a deep players, but not using it right. I like the starters, but if not working, use the second one. I mean, again, my preference in the starting lineup is Deuce McBride for Josh Hart. Obviously, Deuce McBride has been hurt for 2 months, so I've put the starter discussion on the back burner. But the thing that now annoys me, that I've been noticing these past couple of weeks, I don't love the rotations he goes to. I don't love Jalen Brunson for the entirety of a quarter. I don't love Karl Anthony Towns playing 6 minutes in each quarter. He plays the first 6 minutes of the first quarter and then the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. We don't close any quarters with Karl Anthony Towns usually. Sometimes he comes in to end the first half for a couple of possessions, but like I think Karl Anthony Towns is usually he ended the second quarter here. I think we have to get more creative with how often we shuffle guys in and out, right? I forget who said it, but to the point of playing hard, I think you can get the most out of your players if you shuffle them in and out. Like if they have 4-minute bursts, 5-minute bursts, instead of 6, 7, or 8-minute bursts. And it was one of my biggest criticisms of Tom Thibodeau is that he played guys for way too long, like in specific stretches, like play specific players like 8 minutes straight, or even play specific rotations 8 minutes straight. And it was like Tibbs, you gotta make a substitution here, right? Mike Brown is better at that than Tibbs. He will shuffle guys in and out, but not the guys I want. Again, I don't love Brunson playing the entirety of the first quarter. I don't think that has worked. I think it is part of the reason why they get off to slow starts. Get him in the game, pull him out of the game, put him back in the game to end the first, right? I think he should come out in the middle. Nick Yak said, what players are not playing hard? Some people in the chat, Yak, have said that they feel like this team is not playing hard tonight or have not played hard in the past. And I disagree with that. I push back on it because I don't think it's a playing hard discussion. I think it's an execution discussion. I don't think they've executed well at all. Conrad got banned, and I also don't think it's a good game plan, but Conrad said, man, Knicks ain't going far in the playoffs. Rockets ain't either. You got two players in Bridges and Cat aren't productive enough. If Cade comes back, they're not beating the Pistons in a 7-game series. Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges conversations have been, Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges have been the two biggest Knicks of conversation this whole season, for 2 seasons now. Yeah. I don't love the usage of Towns in the sense that I think we could get him the ball a little bit more often offensively here, especially when they go to the double big lineup. Why are we not using Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson in more actions together? Like, that is also where you could take advantage of double big lineups. You could have Towns set a screen and slip the screen or ghost the screen and pop out for 3, or receive screens from Mitchell Robinson to pop out for or just get creative. I just don't think Mike Brown has been creative enough in the double big lineup. It's not enough to just put both of those guys out there and be like, well, be big out there. Like, that's cool, and sometimes it works, but we don't really have sets to utilize that lineup. And I think we should. I don't know why we don't. Keith, what's up, Keith? Hart cannot make any more turnovers and expect to win any game. All right, let's look at the box score. We're talking about turnovers. I have not been keeping track of it per se here tonight with how poor they played. I assume they have a lot. Bruce Fowler said, bottom line, Cat was supposed to move the needle. He hasn't. I think he has for the most part. I disagree. I think he's moved the needle. I think he's been better than Randall during his Knicks tenure overall. He was very good in the playoffs, especially in that Pacers series. One of the few guys who actually helped the Knicks push that to Game 6. I mean, they probably get swept against the Pacers in the conference finals last year. If Karl-Anthony Towns, they were down 20 points in the fourth quarter, and Karl-Anthony Towns goes off in Indiana. I'll push back on not really moving the needle, Bruce. I disagree with that. I think Towns has moved the needle. This season, obviously playing a different role has not brought the best out of Karl-Anthony Towns, and it's diminished the things I think he does great. He's great at, Simon Joss said we're not playing as a team. We work too hard even to get a shot. We ignore Cat too often. Yeah, I don't think it's an ignore Cat thing. I think it's maybe it is an ignore Cat thing. Maybe it is, but I think it is also just Karl-Anthony Towns isn't great at getting and keeping positioning in certain spots. I don't need him down low on the block, but oftentimes he allows guys to front him and deny him the ball, and that's just a dangerous pass for any guard, any player, any player to throw to him, to throw it over the top and trust that Karl-Anthony Towns will grab it, because the defense is waiting for that. The defense is waiting for the Knicks to lob it over the top to Karl-Anthony Towns so they can immediately bring a double team from the weak side where Karl-Anthony Towns is not looking, and then try to force a turnover, because we know he's not great at handling that immediate pressure like that, and also not great at passing out of double teams. So the defenses are waiting for that. It's part of the reason why the Knicks don't just blindly throw the ball to Karl-Anthony Towns, because he needs the ball in a specific area. It's also why they get him the ball at the three-point line often, because it's one of the few places where they feel pretty comfortable, like, I could pass to Karl-Anthony Towns and not expect a turnover here, right? Keenar said, honestly, Cat had to replace Randall and Ihart. It was a response to Ihart bolting, and Randall said to be demanding a max contract. Yeah. I mean, if you don't... Listen, I'll say this, and I'm on record saying this in the past. I'm on record saying this while Randall was here. I was going for bat for Randall. I was like, Randall's better than Towns. After watching Karl Anthony Towns for 2 years and watching Julius Randle for, 4 years, 5 years that he was with the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns is a better basketball player than Julius Randle and a more impactful basketball player overall. But I've never been a fan of Karl Anthony Towns' game when he was in Minnesota. Did not want the Knicks to trade for him. Desperately rooted against it. And ultimately, he got traded to the Knicks. So now I have to be a Karl Anthony Towns fan. I will say, after 2 years of watching him, I actually kind of really like Towns, even as frustrating and annoying as he can be. I've grown to really like Towns. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome, who knows? But I've grown to really, really enjoy his game. But yeah, that's a great point, Kenar, in the sense that he's replacing Randle and Hartenstein in the absence of Hartenstein bolting, like you said, the Thunder. Benedict Arnold, the true traitor, I'll never forgive him. Even if he does end up coming back to the Knicks at some point throughout his career, I'll never forgive him. I'll always boo him. It'll be the only Knick I ever boo. I will boo Hartenstein to the day I die. I will boo him for what he did. Because Hartenstein left, the Knicks knew that they needed an upgrade in Randle because they knew they didn't really want to pay him. And he was demanding a lot of money. And so they were like, all right, it's time to move on, time to look for an upgrade. They knew they needed a center. Their center going into that season was going to end up being Jericho Sims. Boy, oh boy, was that not going to work out. And so they were like, all right, if we're trading Randle to acquire a center, we might as well go out and grab the perennial all-star, all-NBA center and figure it out. And that's what they did. They went out and acquired the best player they could in a Karl Anthony Towns trade. Now, we could argue they shouldn't have done that. They should have traded Randle for an okay center, would have been able to keep Dante DiVincenzo. We knew Mitchell Robinson would coming back eventually. We should have just played the waiting game. Didn't have to be that aggressive, Karl Anthony Towns. I get that. I think that's a valid point. I think that's a valid piece of part of the discussion we could have. But ultimately, they took a swing. And I'll never blame a front office for taking a swing, right? Because there are so many times where front offices just rest under the laurels and they're like, eventually we'll figure it out. We'll be okay. Let's kick the can down the road. Let's kick the can down the road. Let's kick the can down the road. Keno Hart said, Tag Lasco? What's up, Tag? I need 25 for Jalen and 29 for Thompson. I don't think Thompson's going to get 29. Here we go. Started the third quarter. Keno Hart said, Cat has limitations. We all know. We have discussed ad nauseum. Absolutely. Not a big step up from Randle, but he can play center to a degree. He ain't Giannis, but that's why Cat was available and Giannis wasn't. Great point. Great point. Absolutely. Both players, Randle and Towns, have limitations. Towns, on the nice pass from Josh Hart, smokes a layup. Got to get him to go down, big dog. Got to get him to go down. Easton gets it up top to Durant, being guarded by Towns. Durant picks up his handle, calling for a pass, kicks it over to Jabari Smith Jr., back to Durant. Now they get it back to Jabari Smith Jr., attacking Towns off the bounce, stops, turns, spins. Good defense from Towns. He's got nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Thompson at the last second. Jab step, he's got to put up a three. Deep one, air ball. Rebound by Josh Hart, pushing it the other way. Josh Hart, shot out of a cannon, just runs right past everybody on the Rockets to get a layup. Absolutely horrific defense from the Rockets, no communication. All right, it's an 11-point game, 11 minutes to go in the third here. If we just throw away a horrific first quarter, it's not bad. It's not a bad situation to be in right now. Sengun has it up top to get it over to Jabari Smith Jr., being guarded by Josh Hart. Jabari Smith Jr. coming to his right. Lobs it over the top to Durant. Durant spins, taking the baseline, being guarded by Bridges, backing him down. Fall-away jumper over him. Too strong, can't get it to go. Rebound, Thompson kicks it out. Easton, left corner three, he's open. He misses that one. Josh Hart the rebound. Josh Hart bringing it down. I said we would go over the box scores, and we didn't. We'll do that during the next timeout. Down low, Towns draws the foul, is going to the foul line for two. There you go. There you go. We're moving. Carl James said, right, JC and Jose play perfect with defense. Why not play them? I'd push back on both Jose and JC playing perfect defense. I will say that Jose Alvarado and Jordan Clarkson have been very active defensively. They've been very good defensively as well. Clarkson, I've been super impressed with his defense for sure, because he's never been a very good defender, and I think he's really locking in defensively this year, knowing that his team needs that from him, especially if he wants to stay on the court too. So shout out Jordan Clarkson, but yeah, maybe mix those lineups in a little bit more. It's a 10-point game. Towns at the foul line for one more. He did hit the first one. Zane said, Hart making the starter case. Bruce Palace said, the Caesars open as Towns misses the second free throw. But they call a lane violation on the Rockets. A lane violation, you say? Rarely seen lane violation. Towns gets another opportunity for the free throw. Bruce said the Knicks are funny. They aren't going to do this in the postseason, right? I hope not. I have no faith that they won't bring their slow starts into the postseason, man. I have no faith that that won't happen. Towns does knock down his second opportunity to hit that free throw. It is a 9-point game, 54-63. Durant has it up top, being guarded by Josh Hart. They get over to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by Towns. Over the top pass to Durant. Bullet pass inside to Sengun, rolling to the rim. And again, the Knicks leave the roller wide open going to the rim yet again because they are getting caught on these screens and also very, very concerned with Kevin Durant with the way he shot it tonight. Anunoby hands it off to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Durant. Jab step out to Anunoby. Left wing three for OG Anunoby. Comes up just short. Can't get the friendly roll. Towns battling for that rebound. And it gets picked up by Jabari Smith Jr. Towns almost out-battled Jabari Smith Jr. and Sengun for that rebound. Good fight from Towns, but he didn't end up with it. Durant over the top pass to Jabari Smith Jr. Kicks it in the corner. Eason, another corner three. He's open. Misses that one long. Josh Hart the rebound. Pushing it the other way. It's a 3-on-2 fast break. Hit ahead pass to Brunson. Brunson with the layup. Got chased down. Blocked by Eason. Josh Hart gets knocked to the floor on the layup attempt, on the putback attempt. They try to drop it off to Eason. Bridges able to pick the pass off. Quick outlet to Brunson. A helter-skelter play here. It's a 4-on-3. They kick it over to Towns. Left wing three for Towns. Line me up. Line me up, Karl Anthony Towns, baby. There you go. A little serendipity for the Knicks. They cut it back to 8. Durant has it up top, being guarded by Josh Hart. They get it over to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by Towns, directing traffic, bullet pass inside to Jabari Smith Jr. as the Knicks get caught on yet another off-ball screen. Way too focused, staying attached to Kevin Durant, having two defenders stuck on him, and leaves Jabari Smith Jr. wide open to cut to the rim for the easy two-handed slam. More bad defense, more bad execution from one of the Knicks. Mikal Bridges kicks it up top to Josh Hart. Josh Hart lobs it down low to Towns. Catches in the paint. Drop step. Layup. Gets chased down. Blocked by Sengun. But a foul is called. It's going to send Towns to the foul line for 2 more free throws. Zane said that's where Mo D comes in. Don't expect a ton of more minutes from ODOR the rest of the season. Not with Landry Shamit's return imminent. Probably next game. We'll see. Not with Deuce McBride back healthy and available in the rotation. We're not going to see a lot more of Mo Diawara this season. I think he's had a good rookie year. I think he's shown a lot. Get ready for next year, big dog. And stay ready for when your number is possibly called for the remainder of the regular season here, but also going into the playoffs. Your number may be called. Kinohara said, Chevy be like, once a Knick, always a Knick, except Harnstein. Yeah, absolutely. I will forever despise that man. Forever despise that man. I have a pure basketball hate for Isaiah Harnstein. And it actively makes me upset whenever I hear people romanticize the Harnstein 2 years as if he was like Mr. Knickerbocker. Like, shut up. That guy, the first opportunity he got to leave New York, my man got up out of here. I hate that guy with a pure passion. A pure passion. Towns knocks down both free throws. 8-point game. They get into Sengun in the post, being guarded by Anunoby. They switched up their matchups here. They got Josh Hart on Durant. Eason, they swing it over to him in the corner, down the lane, shoves it out to Thompson, kicks it out to Durant. Durant driving to his right, foul line, pull-up jumper over Josh Hart. Got it to go for Kevin Durant. The shot continues to be there for KD. Back to 10. Brunson has it up top. 20 points for Durant, 8 for 12 from the field for Kevin Durant. Brunson, pass fake, kicks it over to Towns, right corner three, pump fakes, driving it down now on Eason, down the lane, blows past him, scoop layup, got it to go. Karl Anthony Towns, he's cooking. Starting to cook. Yes, sir. Eason down the lane, Euro steps past Bridges, drops it down low to Thompson, and he throws down a two-handed slam. And the Knicks continue to get killed on backdoor cuts or slips off of screens, not covering the basket, and these cuts to the rim very well at all. Brunson up top, coming to his left off the Towns screen, pulls it back out, being guarded by Eason. Back to a 10-point game, by the way, 71-61. Brunson coming to his right of a screen, slips past to Josh Hart. Josh Hart down the lane, lobs it over the top to Towns. Bad pass from Josh Hart. Terrible pass from Josh Hart. Throw up the floater, man. He's being covered by 2 people. They swing it out to Durant, a left wing three in transition over Bridges. Got it to go, nothing but net. Get Josh Hart out of this game, man. Get Josh Hart out of this game. I love Josh Hart. Get him out of this game. Durant said people smashing equipment on losses. Chevy just hating Harnstein for life instead. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd rather rant my frustrations away than break things, for sure. Brian, what's up, Brian? Hart throws the ball away. Consistently tonight, Mara. Brian. Mario, what's up, Mario? 2,000 riding on the Knicks, but why? I mean, it is the Houston Rockets, man. They do love to give up leads. We have 7:30 to go. We'll let our timer tick down and catch up. Isaiah Gardner said, what is Hart doing? Hart is trying to force feed Karl-Anthony Towns the ball, but why? But why? You have a wide open floater in the lane. This is what frustrates me about Josh Hart. Brother, go get me a bucket. You're 8 feet away from the basket. What are you doing trying to throw a pass? Throw up the lob and get it to go down. They're daring you to score. Boz, what's up, Boz? Rockets are a fast team. Knicks got to keep up. All right, let's go. We are now at 7:30. Let's go to the box scores. Said we would go through it. We did not. Josh Hart has how many turnovers tonight? 3 turnovers. Too many. Too many. I'll take a turnover. You know what? I'll take even 2 turnovers for the entirety of the game. You're up to 3, brother. You're past your maximum here. Too many turnovers for Josh Hart. That last one is going to drive me crazy. OG Anunoby with only 5 points tonight, 1 for 7 from three-point range. The Knicks overall as a team, Towns 1 for 1, Josh Hart 1 for 4, Brunson 0 for 1, Bridges 1 for 1. Off the bench, McBride 1 for 5, as I'm standing right in the way of it. Alvarado 2 for 2. They got nice contributions off the bench. Robinson with 5, Clarkson with 6, Alvarado with 8, and McBride finally knocked down to 3 with 3 points. Brunson with 7 tonight, Bridges with 5, Josh Hart with 9, Towns leading the way with 13 right now, and OG Anunoby with 5. As we go to the Houston Rockets, what I really wanted to look at, the Knicks 7 for 21 from three-point range. The Rockets are 10 for 24, 42% right now. Knicks not only falling behind in the three-point battle, but also falling behind in the volume three-point battle. Not a good spot to be in. The Rockets aren't even a high-volume three-point shooting team, and the Knicks can't get up more three-point attempts than them. 24 to 21. They've made 10, the Knicks have made 7. The Knicks can even out the three-point shooting battle. They'll have the ability to get back into this one. But as of right now, it is a 13-point deficit. Durant with 23 points. He's been unstoppable tonight. He's knocked down 4 threes. 4 boards, 5 assists for Kevin Durant. Jabari Smith Jr., 6 points, 3 boards, 2 assists for him. Tari Eason with 15, 3 for 6 from three-point range for him. Alperen Sengun, 6 points, 10 points for Amen Thompson, 0 for 2 from 3 for him. They're not getting much off the bench. Jay Shante with 2, although Reed Shepard has 12. That's where their contribution off the bench is coming. Nothing from Okogie, nothing from Holiday, nothing from Capella. 2 points for Jay Shante on a drop-off pass earlier in the game. Isaiah Gardner said, not going to lie, Knicks got good looks from 3. They just aren't hitting them. I mean, OG Anunoby being 1 for 7 and Deuce McBride being 1 for 5. Like, there goes your three-point shooting. Like, these guys are knockdown three-point shooters. I'm gonna cut Miles McBride some slack because he's just coming back from injury, and then we know he got injured in the previous game as well. He's been off for 2 months. He's got to shake off the rust. OG Anunoby 1 for 7. We talked about this in the pregame. You never know what you're going to get on a night-to-night basis with OG Anunoby, particularly with the shooting. Some nights he can't miss and he's knocking down contested step-back threes, and then some nights he's getting wide-open looks and he ends up being 1 for 7. Like, come on, man. We need some consistency. We need some reliability. Inconsistency is not reliable whatsoever. 40 Scope, what's up, 40 Scope? Schizophrenics will disappoint. They are good at it. They have a lot of practice at it, that's for sure. Here we go. Bridges has it up top. Gets it over to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left. Inside to Josh Hart. Josh Hart at the foul line. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it. Gets it back to Brunson. Brunson up top. Jab step. Coming to his right. Pull up 3 off the screen. Jalen Brunson comes up short. Long rebound. Eason knocks it away from Josh Hart. Gets it over to Thompson. Thompson pushing it the other way. Has it on the right wing. Picked up by Bridges. Shovels it out to Durant. Durant being guarded by Brunson. Pulls it all the way back out. Durant coming to his right off the Sengun screen. Pocket pass over to Sengun. Has it at the foul line. Kicks it out. Jabari Smith Jr. wide open left wing 3. Why is he wide open? Why is Josh Hart singing into the paint that far? Why are you in the paint that far guarding Jabari Smith Jr.? Why? Karl-Anthony Towns is there guarding Sengun. What are you doing? 8-0 run for the Rockets. Balloons it back up to 16. Josh Hart down the lane. Knocks down the lefty layup on the slip pass from, or on the pocket pass from Jalen Brunson over to Josh Hart rolling off the screen. Again, poor execution from the Knicks. Why are we sagging off Jabari Smith Jr. into the paint to the point where we can't recover 1 pass away? Durant up top, coming to his right off the screen, gets into the mid-range, long pull-up 2 over Karl-Anthony Towns, can't get it to go, rebound to Anunoby. Good defense from the Knicks there, bad shot from Kevin Durant. Anunoby bringing it down, coming to his right. Anunoby hesitates from 3, doesn't want to shoot it now. They get it over to Towns, being guarded by Durant. Towns driving to his right, putting his head down, little bully ball action. High off glass, can't get it to go. Terrible shot from Towns. Good defense from Durant. And Josh Hart uses a foul on Sengun. Purposeful. Karl-Anthony Towns was fell down in the backcourt. It was going to be a 5-on-4 situation. It's a pretty good foul from Josh Hart there. Under 6 to go. We're past the halfway point. Cash, what's up, Cash? Jay Gardner, what's up, Jay Gardner? Bridges needs to have a 30-point game. If only, man. I'll take 20. I'll literally take a 20-point game. Hasn't scored over 15 in how long? Keith said, I'm beginning to hate Hart's game tonight more than I hate Reggie. And that's a high bar. That's a high bar. Sengun has it up top, being guarded by Anunoby. We have Deuce McBride subbing in here for Mikal Bridges. The starting 5, but McBride is in for Bridges. Durant coming to his left, lobs it over the top to Thompson. Thompson down the lane, kicks it out to Eason. Extra pass over to Jabari Smith Jr. Excellent rotation from McBride. Jabari Smith Jr. puts up the 3 with the shot clock winding down, comes up short. Excellent rotation from McBride. Excellent effort there to get out to the shooter. You go over to Towns as the trailer, catches, pump fake, jab step, driving to his left, putting his head down, bump Euroing down the lane, leaves it off for Josh Hart the last second, stops, pulls it back out as he lost the handle to the ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock, more than enough time to get something going. They lob it down low to Towns, and Towns gets fouled on the pass. And Eason picks up the foul, but Karl-Anthony Towns catches the ball after the foul is called and throws down a big one-handed hammer and lets out a nice primal roar. You could tell the frustration, the physicality built up there was just like, finally, you gave me the foul call. Christian, what's up, Christian? Time Josh Hart gets the ball and is wide open, he never shoots. What is going on? That is why people want Josh Hart out of the starting lineup. I love Josh Hart. Josh Hart's an integral part of this team. Bring him off the bench, play him 25 minutes. Doesn't need to be a starter, man. Too many issues. Now we're going to bring Karl-Anthony Towns out of the game. And I really liked what Karl-Anthony Towns was bringing, but we're going to go to our usual tried-and-true rotation that has not been a problem whatsoever, guys. Brunson trying to snake off a Robinson screen. Miscommunication. He dribbles right into Robinson, and it ends up being a turnover. Durant down the lane. Gets stripped by McBride. Durant was looking for the foul call. Goes out of bounds. They're going to keep it with the Houston Rockets, though. 5:10 to go. Jonathan said, let Hart get one more rebound. He'll, play a lot of the fourth quarter. He'll grab that rebound. Star, what's up, Star? Hart did what I needed him to do this game. Now I need Brunson to bring something. I need literally everybody to bring something. All hands on deck here tonight on this comeback. Reed Shepard, left corner 3, comes up short. Brunson, the weak side rebound, bringing it down the other way. Good box down a rebound over Eason for Brunson. Brunson up top, crosses over to his right. He's got a lane, kicks it out to Josh Hart. Wide open 3. Josh Hart, line me up, please. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Rebound to Jabari Smith Jr. Here comes Kevin Durant, who has it up top, being guarded by McBride. Coming to his left off a Clint Capella screen, high up top. Kevin Durant driving it down, mid-range pull-up jumper over McBride, comes up short, rebound to Brunson. Knicks are off and running. Brunson up top. Picked up by Eason. Brunson hands it off to Clarkson. Clarkson pulling it up top, calling for a screen from McBride, coming to his right. Shepard switched on to him. Brunson and Robinson going to run the pick and roll now. Coming to his right. Pulls it back. Crossing over to his left. Down the lane. Leans in. Throws up a high floater. Comes up short. Long rebound. Clarkson able to pick it up. Pass fake. Kicks it out. Brunson up top. Lines up the 3. Comes up short. Battle for the loose ball rebound. And a foul is called. Foul is called on the Brunson 3-point attempt. 3 free throws for Jalen Brunson. Wow. A little bit of a late foul call, but we'll take it. See the replay on it. Jabari Smith Jr. comes by. Brunson shoots it. Jabari Smith Jr. whacks the hand of Jalen Brunson. Houston's going to call a challenge here. I will say, earlier in the season, that was absolutely a foul the officials were calling. As the season's gone on, they have stopped calling the foul. Earlier in the season, after a jump shooter shot the ball, and if a defensive player came over and hit the hand or the wrist or the arm of the shooter, they would still call it a foul earlier in the season. It was actually a point of emphasis. But like every point of emphasis every season, the referees call it for about the first month or 2 of the season, first month and a half, I'd say, of the season, and then they go back to never calling it ever again. That was a call they were calling earlier in the season, a point of emphasis thing that they started earlier this season, and haven't seen it in a long time. They call it right there. By the letter of the law and what they were calling earlier in the season, that is indeed a foul. But we'll see if they uphold it here, because you never know with the officials. You never know. 40 Scope said Starks cost us a chip. Yep, he did indeed. Isaiah Garner said, when Hart doesn't play well, he makes our offense worse. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you were just looking at the box score, you'd be like 5 for 10 from the field, 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. What is so bad about Josh Hart's game? Like, hey, he's got 3 fouls, 3 turnovers, but it can't be that bad, right? He's got 11 points. And no, when you watch the game, he's turned down open looks. The turnovers have been bad. It allowed the Houston Rockets to get out and running. I think his defensive rotations have been sloppy today. A lot of players' rotations for the Knicks today have been sloppy. Christian said Josh Hart looks scared to shoot. At this point, he looks scared to score sometimes. Again, he had that wide open 8-foot floater in the lane that he's knocked down so many times this season and passed it up to try and dump it down low to Karl-Anthony Towns, who's being covered by 2 players because they were not guarding Josh Hart with the floater. Star said, I can't trust any player with 20-plus points anymore unless it's score merchants like Luka. Marlon said, if we're single digits in the fourth quarter, we got this. 14-point deficit right now with Brunson going to the foul line for three, possibly 3 free throws. We'll see what they come out with the challenge. Zane said that was Brickale. Brickale's a crazy nickname. Christian said, Josh Hart looks scared too. I read that one already. Nick Yak said, I think the contact was with the body. They called a foul on Jalen Brunson's three-point shot, which they showed the replay before they went to the commercial break, and the only contact I saw was Jabari Smith Jr. fly by, hits the hand and wrist of Jalen Brunson after he took the shot. GG said, Brunson better win us this game today. Do it for the fan base. They need a man. Just that's a 7 for 23 from 3. Nobody has 2 makes. Yep. Yes. One of the big, it's not the only issue, but one of the bigger issues with the Knicks offense today is they just aren't knocking down shots. McBride and Anunoby combined 2 for 13 from 3 is horrendous. So it's not a foul. It is not a foul on Jabari Smith Jr. It is a jump ball. It is a jump ball at center's court here. Rudy Bobiles. What's up, Rudy? I don't get it. Alvarado did good at the start of the second quarter. Then the coach for McBride, who is not doing anything. McBride's playing very good defense tonight, brother. The coach should have milked Alvarado. Alvarado should, for sure, get more minutes. I'm with you on that one. But McBride is playing excellent defense. Also, McBride is your 6th man, if at worst your 7th man, who just came back from injury. You got to let him play through the rust. But yeah, more Jose Alvarado. I'm down with that. I thought he was excellent in the first half. Robinson wins the tip. Loose ball. McBride able to grab it. Can't get the lefty layup to go down, but Brunson right there for the tip up and in. All right. Knicks still find a way to walk away with 2 points there. And Kevin Durant will bring it down the other way. It's a 12-point game. Okay. Stops and scores, guys. Stops and scores. They get over to Tate. Tate being guarded by Robinson. Or is that Capella? My goodness, I'm all over the place with names today. Capella hands it off to Thompson, being guarded by Anunoby, being guarded by Clarkson. And why are we guarding him by the half-court line? Behind the back, coming to his left, down the lane, puts up a tough floater. Can't get it to go, but he draws a foul. Why are we guarding him by the half-court line? I don't understand that. Michael Rogers said Brunson and Hart are -40 playing on the court together. They play almost exclusively together. Rarely do you see Brunson on the court without Hart, and rarely do you see Hart on the court without Brunson. I don't know why we have them joined at the hip. I don't know. Hoobian said Brown is known for benching people with hot hands. I have seen people start to really complain about that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Zane said they are roommates. Thompson splits the free throws, makes the first, but misses the second. It's a 13-point game. Brunson and the Knicks will bring it down. 3:30 to go in this third quarter. Brunson has it up top, calling for a screen. Shoves it over to Robinson, actually. Robinson up top. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it. Coming to his left. Fakes the handoff to Clarkson. Keeps it. Hands it off to Brunson. Brunson coming to his right. He's got some space down the lane. Lefty layup. High off glass. Can't get it to go. No foul called. Durant has it. Throws it out to the streaking Amon Thompson for the two-handed slam. And the Knicks throw up a bad shot. Don't get back on defense. Bad floor balance for the Knicks there. McBride coming to his left, step back, mid-range follow-away jumper for Deuce. Comes up short, battling for the loose ball rebound. Robinson wins it out. Kicks it out to Anunoby. Over to McBride. Over to Brunson. Wide open left wing 3. Brunson gets one to go down. Back to 12. A 3 for a 3. But again, I've used this phrase multiple times today. The Knicks have got to start stringing together stops and scores. Every time they get a stop, they don't get a score. Every time they get a score, they don't get a stop. 12-point game, 80-68. Capella hands it off to Durant. Durant coming to his right, pulls it back out, being guarded by Anunoby. Durant dancing with it, coming to his left, down the lane, leans in, doesn't draw the foul, but does knock down the floater anyway against OG Anunoby. And here comes Deuce McBride bringing it down. Durant, 25 points so far here tonight. McBride coming to his right off the Robinson screen. Reed Sheppard runs behind him and takes the ball out of his hands. Excellent defense from Reed Sheppard. Bad awareness from Deuce McBride. Thompson kicks it over to Okogie. Okogie over to Sheppard. Deep three in transition. Got it to go. Nothing but net. Just like that, it is a 17-point lead yet again. And when was the last time we had a substitution? The 6-minute mark? Mikal Bridges is at the scores table. Not the substitution I wanted. Brunson up top, coming to his left, and they call a moving screen on Deuce McBride. Ball back to the Rockets with an 18-point lead. Or 17-point lead. 17-point lead? 17-point lead. Can't do math. Christian said, bro, take McBride out. Yeah. Yeah. Take literally anybody out. Make a substitution, Mike Brown. Literally the first time all season, I feel like his substitutions have been truly horrendous. I don't know if I'm just noticing it now, if this has been a thing all season. I truly hate his rotations right now. I hate him. Every single one he's made tonight. I'm like, why? Why are we doing that? Why are we waiting so long to get Alvarado in the game after he played so well in that second quarter? A bullet pass from Sheppard down low to Sengun, and the Knicks just grab Sengun and foul him before he can get a shot attempt up. I truly hate these rotations right now. AB said, unreal, absolutely unreal, nothing but bums. I think the game plan has been poor. I don't know why. A second foul in the final 2 minutes, I guess? Yeah, second foul in the final 2 minutes. They called the moving screen on McBride, and now the foul, purposeful foul on Sengun. They just grabbed him. It's going to send him to the foul line for 2. He knocks down the first one. Hubian said, wow, are we just bad? 3 losses three losses in a row incoming for the Knicks here tonight. Sengun knocks down both free throws, and they're going through yet another slump as we wind down the regular season here. Not good. Not good. 1:30 to go. Robinson hands it off to Brunson. He sees a double team and draws a foul on Sengun out on the perimeter. A blocking foul, 1:35 to go. Michael Rogers said, where's Kolek? I don't think guard play is where you're struggling. I don't think they need Kolek. Alvarado's played well. Clarkson's played decently. McBride's been all over the place. So. Christian said, I don't think our coach knows what he's doing. If there was any night to question Mike Brown, tonight is the night. I think, I don't know what he's done tonight to help his team. I really don't. Like, you're going to have to lean on Karl-Anthony Towns and Jose Alvarado more here tonight, knowing that they're 2 of the only players you have going. Reed Sheppard fouls Clarkson on a step-back jumper. And he has it. He's just stuck with his tried-and-true rotations here. Like, be flexible. Be creative here. On a night where, like, your normal guys don't have it going, Brunson 12 points on 13 shot attempts. Bridges 5 points on 2 shot attempts. Anunoby 5 points on 8 shot attempts. You know, like, lean on the guys who've had it going. Alvarado, Towns. And yet, Mike Brown keeping him on the bench. Keno, what's up, Keno? Greg said, Gino, Jets going to be Houston. 40 Scope said, what if teams were paid based on their records? No owner would ever agree to that. No owner would ever agree to that. Clarkson knocks down both free throws. Thank you, Jordan Clarkson. 17-point deficit for the New York Knicks. Thompson has it up top. Coming to his left to get it over to Sengun. Sengun fakes the handoff, keeps it. Good ball denial from Kevin Durant here on Durant. Good ball denial from Bridges on Durant there. And then ultimately fouls him when they do shovel it over to Durant. AP with an extremely generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP, man. Appreciate you. He said we got a high-priced bum, and now we're capped out. And we're going to look crazy to figure out how to play with these guys, these regular guys. One of those contracts have to go hit the likes. Appreciate you, AP. Yeah, the Knicks are bumping right up against that second apron. It's why it's limited their flexibility in the offseason. They're paying a premium for Brunson Towns and OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson took a pay cut the first time for the first extension. He's already made it known, I will not be taking a pay cut for that second extension, and they will indeed be extending him. AB said, anyone interested in Jaden Ivey? Not a single team in the NBA, brother. Christian said, Chevy Brown fired next season or no? I highly, it's not impossible, but I highly doubt that Mike Brown would be fired after they just fired Tom Thibodeau. They will not be paying two coaches in the offseason. They will not be paying three coaches, right? Because their contracts are guaranteed. Durant knocks down both free throws. So they will not be paying Tom Thibodeau to sit on the beach somewhere. They will not be paying Mike Brown to sit on the beach somewhere. And then also paying, as Clarkson knocks down a mid-range jumper, and then also paying a brand new head coach next season. That will not be happening. David said Brown is gone. He's clearly not a safe. I'll say that. It's not safe. Reed Shepard almost threw it away, but Thompson chases it down. Thompson has it up top. It is a 17-point game. They finally get it to Durant with 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Swings through to his left, down the lane, pull-up jumper over Bridges, well contested, can't get it to go. Robinson with the rebound. Gets it over to OG Anunoby, he'll bring it down the other way. Timer never started, my bad. Anunoby has it up top, coming to his right, driving it down, step back, pump fake, over to Clarkson. Clarkson at the foul line, being guarded by Shepard. Leans in, stop, follow-away jumper over Shepard, comes up short, doesn't get the friendly rolls. It rolls off the front of the rim on the second bounce. 10 seconds to go, the Rockets will hold it for the final shot of the quarter. 17-point deficit, not good. Get a stop here at least. Durant, over to Jabari Smith Jr., left corner three, got it to go. And I was about to say it, but I didn't want to jinx the team. It didn't matter because it happened anyway. He knocks down the three, giving them their first 20-point lead of the night. And it's going to be going into the fourth quarter. The Knicks will be down 20. It will have to be a huge comeback for the New York Knicks if they want to pull this one off, man. Huge comeback. Joe's dad said, hit the like number, confused me, 413, 143. Appreciate you, Joe's dad. Appreciate everybody in the chat here tonight. If you guys are enjoying the show, I know the Knicks aren't giving us much to celebrate tonight, but hopefully you're enjoying the show. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and like the stream. I very much appreciate it. It is by far the best thing you can do to help support the community, support the channel, support what we're doing over here. Talking and covering about basketball is literally my favorite hobby, and it's why we started doing this in the first place. Madrasi, what's up, Madrasi? What do we need to do from now until game one of the playoffs to get better, Sheffy? Play better. That is the number one thing they can do, is play better overall. The second thing they can do is the few games they have. Six Wheels, appreciate you, Six Wheels. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that subscription. Hope you're having a good time tonight. The second thing they can do is mostly on the coaching, is experiment with some rotations here. You're going to have to experiment with some rotations. You just got Deuce McBride back. Work him in there. Jordan Clarkson is becoming integral to this team again. He's got 10 points here tonight. Robinson has been good but not great lately. You need great Robinson. You need him. OG Anunoby, 5 points, 2 for 8 from the field. We talked about in the pregame, he needs to be your third. A combined 10 points from Anunoby and Bridges is disastrous. That's a disastrous outcome. One of those guys has to get it going. If not Anunoby, then Bridges. If not Bridges, then Anunoby. You both can't lay an egg. By the way, Bridges only 2 shot attempts. Terrible. We talk about Brunson Towns shot attempts. Mikal Bridges, where are you, brother? Where are you? Doing too much said, man, I knew he was cooked. Bro, after the first 5 minutes into the game, we got to do better. Yeah, I mean, they put themselves behind the 8 ball early. And multiple times they've cut it to single digits. One time they cut it to about 4 points. And they haven't been able to get over that hump. But when you play from behind as often as the Knicks play from behind, this is going to be 3 games in a row where they aren't even particularly in the game and have played from behind from almost the start, right? They were pretty close against the Thunder majority of the night. They never really went down too big, but it was hovering around 10 most of the night, you know? Here tonight, it's hovered around 15 most of the night. And then against the Charlotte Hornets, it hovered around 10 to 15 most of the night. So these are 3 performances in the row against really high caliber teams where you expected and hoped that the New York Knicks would show up and at least give you one good performance against one of these great teams. And they laid an egg in all 3 of them so far. Doesn't give you a ton of confidence going in for a playoff run. Tell you that. You know, I'm as optimistic and positive about this team as anybody you could probably find. But this isn't helping. This isn't helping anything I could say to you guys that could make you believe that, yeah, they could compete for a championship this year. And then on the other end, the Detroit Pistons, no Cade Cunningham, no problem. 97-79 against the Raptors here tonight. And they went into overtime with the Thunder the other night with no Durant, no Cunningham, no Isaiah Stewart, no Tobias Harris, no Duncan Robinson. 5 rotation players, 4 of them starters. And yet the Pistons able to hang in there with the Thunder. No Emmanuel Quickly for the Raptors. It's a big loss for them. They're not deep enough to survive a Quickly-less roster. But, you know, Jenkins with 17. Durant with 27. Robinson with 16. Harris with 11. They're just finding ways. Finding ways. And then the Knicks, almost fully healthy, finding ways to be terrible. Like, got 12 minutes to go. You trail by 20. It's going to be a Herculean effort if you even want to get back into this game. Jose Alvarado takes a hard hit from Sengun on a screen attempt, and Alvarado goes down holding his right hip. Not great. Not great. Ball does go back to the Knicks, though, on the turnover. Just that said, Mo played 5 seconds. I don't mind Mo not playing that often. I want Mo to play. Again, you are not going to find a bigger Mo Diawara fan than me. But, and maybe he should play. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he should play. Maybe I'm giving Mike Brown the benefit of the doubt in that regard. He's got to search and find. He's got to search and find. There's really no excuses for it. If OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are giving you nothing, go to Mo Diawara. Go to the rookie. What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose? That's Sengun's 4th foul. It's a 20-point deficit. Knicks get the ball here. Alvarado coming to his right. Now coming to his left. Now crossing back over to his right. Down the lane, reverse layup against Sengun. Gets the layup to go down. And Sengun looking at his teammates and going, where are you guys? Just got blown by Jose Alvarado. There's nobody on the backside to help. Alvarado then again comes up holding his hip. You don't love to see that. He's finally playing well. Shepard on the pass fake down the lane gets the easy scoop layup. No rim protection, nobody on the rotation down low. Reed Shepard just has to hesitate from 3, gets somebody up in the air, and then has an easy lane to the basket. This comeback probably ain't happening. Alvarado dancing with it, coming to his left. A lot of ball handling from Alvarado here. They get over to Towns. Towns up top, and a foul is called on Eason. They're actually calling hand checks on Karl-Anthony Towns here tonight. Usually players are allowed to put as many hands as possible on Karl-Anthony Towns, and they won't call a foul on him. Here tonight, they're actually calling a ton of fouls on Tari Eason for just grabbing and holding Karl-Anthony Towns here. Keith, what's up, Keith? Brown should rest the starters and play the bench for the full quarter. Just send a message. Yeah. Towns misses the layup attempt, loose ball, Anunoby ends up with it. Kicks it out to Alvarado, Alvarado over to Towns, Towns catches, pump fakes, Eason goes for the pump fake, Towns down the lane, 2-handed slam for Karl-Anthony Towns. I will say, play the guys who have played, I gave him 2 points, I gave 2 points to the wrong side anyway before. It's 76-94. I would play the 5 guys, I would play Towns, and an off-ball foul on OG Anunoby running through the Sengun screen. I would play Towns. I would play Alvarado. I would play Clarkson. Those 3 guys, I think, have brought it for the most part tonight. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Everybody else, go to the bench. Give me Diawara minutes. Give me Kolek minutes if you got to. Sengun has it in the post against Towns, kicks it out to Thompson at the last second, right corner 3, got it to go. That kind of night. That kind of night. When it rains, it pours. They call it a long 2 for Amon Thompson, by the way. Towns spinning off Eason. Eason hits the floor. No look past Anunoby. Left corner 3, he's open. And he knocks down the 3. 17-point game with under 10 to go. What you got for me, Knicks? Try to get it over to Sengun. Towns knocks the ball out of bounds. I don't like Karl-Anthony Towns' rotation. I've come to the full conclusion, and I know I've been ranting about this all night, but I've come to the full conclusion that I do not like Karl-Anthony Towns' rotations, man. I don't like that he plays 6 minutes at a time. I don't like that he plays the first 6 minutes of the first, and then the last couple of minutes of the second, and then the first 6 minutes of the third, and then starts the second. I don't like that. I don't like it. Towns picks up the rebound, but knocked out of his hands. Picked up by Eason, shovels it down low to Tate. Tate spins, layup, misses it. Eason right there for the putback. Nothing going right for the Knicks here tonight. Alvarado pushing it the other way, on the right wing. DB handle. What's up, DB? Towns is a problem. I've come to the conclusion that Karl-Anthony Towns is not the problem. The things surrounding Towns and the things being asked of him is the problem. Towns misses the fall-away mid-range shot. I think Mike Brown is more of a problem than Karl-Anthony Towns at this point. I don't like his usage. I don't like Karl-Anthony Towns' usage. I don't like the rotations they use him in, for the most part. I don't like his rotations overall, like when he comes in and out of games. I don't love where the spots on the court in which they get him the ball. A step-back mid-range shot for Jabari Smith Jr. doesn't get it. So I'm not blaming Karl-Anthony. Like, yes, he can be more aggressive. He needs to call for the ball more. He needs to get better positioning, all of the things. I'm with you guys. I think a lot of this is far more on what they have him doing right now. Bridges misses the corner three, battle for the loose ball rebound. And Jabari Smith Jr. saves it over to Shepard. A lot of walking around for both teams right now. As I think both teams are just like, all right, this one's over, right, guys? Yeah, this one's over. Shepard has it up top. 40 Scope said, they're going to magically get it together for the playoffs. They did it last year, 40 Scope. They did it last year. I felt worse about this Knicks team going into the playoffs last year, and they made it to Game 6 of the conference finals. So that's the hope. That's the cope that I'm rocking with. But, yeah, they had a bit of luck going their way last year. This year, they may not be so lucky. Brunson bringing it down, shovels it over to Towns as the trailer. Pump fakes from a deep three. Being guarded by Eason, swings through to his right, putting his head down, attacking down the lane, layup off glass, misses it. Towns was asking for a goaltend. He's not going to get it. Here comes Jae'Sean Tate. DB said no off-ball movement by the entire team, no fire, no effort. I don't think it's effort. I think it is good Rockets defense, and as Anunoby comes up with the steal, good Rockets defense, but also the Knicks settling. Towns fires a three in transition, got it to go. I think the Knicks have settled all night. I talked about it in the pregame, DB. I think it's more so, it's not an effort thing. It's an execution and it's a game planning thing, which goes to the coach, but also goes to the players. I don't particularly love the game plan that they came out tonight with, but also they executed it horribly. So how can you even really truly evaluate it? Jabari Smith Jr., jab step, straightaway three, got it to go. Yeah, this one's over. The Knicks are going shot for shot, but there's 7 minutes. Come on, timer. There's 7 minutes to go, but it's a 19-point game. AP with another very generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. He said, I love the guy. Support JB. Has good quality clothes in his store. But if JB wants a max, he's got to bring a chip. We want a championship. Yeah. Here's the thing. They'll probably give it to him. But we'll see. We'll see if he's going to bring a championship. I'm with you. Absolutely. Yeah. Appreciate the support, AP. Thank you for your generosity, man. Danny Lanos, what's up, Danny? Alperen Sengun should play the full game. Dang, they mess it up, main player, and they bench him. Is he out on the court right now? He's not out on the court right now. I don't know. They looked really good without him. Who knocked down that shot? Alvarado. He's got 12 points. He's 5 for 5 from the field tonight. Maybe you should play more than just the second quarter and the fourth quarter. Maybe you should get him in that first quarter, man. Take Jalen Brunson out earlier. I do not like these rotations. Jabari Smith Jr., another straightaway three. He misses that one that time. DB said, why did we fire Tibbs? For this? Towns a deep straightaway three? Off the back rim. They fired Tom Thibodeau because he was not cooperating with the front office and he was not listening to anybody and any suggestions. He was also very stubborn in his utilization of the bench and got very, very desperate during the playoffs, in which he finally started to experiment with the team, but too little too late. And ultimately they decided he's not getting the best out of this team and it was time to move on. I agree with the firing of Tom Thibodeau. I don't agree with the hiring of Mike Brown, but he was the best option they had. They reached out to any and every other coach that would listen, but every other coach that they wanted was already under contract. So maybe you should have just kept Mike Brown. Alvarado misses a pull-up jump shot there. But, yeah, let's not romanticize what last year was, though. Again, I felt worse about this team going into the playoffs last year than I do so far this year. Thompson tries to dumb it down low to Jabari Smith Jr., but he picks up an offensive foul on Alvarado there. And we are getting Alvarado and Brunson minutes. We get a timeout. It's a 17-point game. Is it possible the Knicks can make this comeback? Sure. It's possible. Is it likely? Heck no. Buzzer beater also in the chat. I saw you, brother. Appreciate you, buzzer beater. Tay Cabo said, I didn't want a McHale nor Cat. I'm with you on that one, Tay. I'm with you on that one. Listen, they traded for Mikal Bridges because they knew they were going to lose Dante DiVincenzo because they were going to trade for Towns, and they knew they were going to trade for Towns because Isaiah Hartenstein left in free agency. So, again, part of the reason why I absolutely, every ounce of my heart despise Isaiah Hartenstein is because everything you're seeing is related to him being a scumbag and a Benedict Arnold and a traitor. Now, here's the thing. Very aggressive in my wording there. Very aggressive in my wording there. Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm sure, great guy. Great guy in real life. It is purely sport hate, though. Purely sports hate. And I'll never forgive him. I'll never forget him. Tay said, I'm not shocked at this game. We need shooters on this team. The problem is, Tay, the front office went out. Anunoby could shoot. He's not shooting tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns can shoot. Mikal Bridges can shoot. He's not shooting tonight. Jalen Brunson can shoot. Alvarado, decent shooter. But he can shoot. He's a threat from three. Let's go to the rest of the box score here. So far, I've listed 4.5 shooters. Let's go to the rest of the Knicks roster. Mo Diawara, who's played like 20 seconds tonight, he's proven he could shoot. Mitchell Robinson can't shoot. Jordan Clarkson can shoot a little bit. He's not much of a three-point shooter, but he can shoot jump shots from two-point range. He's more of a mid-range shooter, more of a scorer than a shooter per se. Deuce McBride, he could shoot. Landry Shaman, who's injured right now, he could shoot. This team is full of three-point shooters. Part of the reason why they decided to go out and get an offensive coach in Mike Brown is for him to revolutionize the offense. It's been bad. It's been bad. They have shooters. They're just not shooting well. I mean, overall, the Knicks are 10 for 29 from three-point range for 34%. Not only are they not shooting it well, they're also not shooting it point-blank, period. 29 attempts from three is not the number you need. In modern basketball, good offenses want to get around 40 attempts a game. Around 40 attempts. You get, 37, you get 43, maybe you're leaning on a little too much, but you want to be around 40. You want to hover around 35 to 40 three-point attempts a game. So far, the Knicks tonight have 29. And, there's 5.5 minutes to go. Maybe they get up to 35 three-point attempts. But at that point, they're going to be chucking them up. Here's the thing. Deuce McBride, who's a 42% three-point shooter, just came back from injury. He's 1 for 5 from three tonight. I'm going to cut him some slack. Everybody else, Jordan Clarkson hasn't taken the three. Mo Diawara played about 20 seconds here tonight. Jalen Brunson's 1 for 4 from three. Bridges, 1 for 2. Josh Hart, 1 for 5. Towns is 2 for 3. And OG Anunoby's a disastrous 2 for 8. It's not getting it done. It's not getting it done. Keith said, I've lowered my expectations. I will be happy if the Knicks win 50 regular season games. They got 48, and they have, 6 games remaining after tonight? So they need 2 more. They need to go 2-4. So they would effectively go 2-7, reminiscent of their 2-9 stretch against Dallas. Yeah, that would not be great. That would not be great at all. Here we go. We're checking back in here, guys. Captain Mass said, when's your next game coverage? We will be covering the next game against the Grizzlies tomorrow and then trying to get the doubleheader go. Maybe we'll do a doubleheader tomorrow. We'll see. But we'll see what's on the schedule. We'll probably have another stoppage in place so we can check. But Josh Hart in the lane, pump fakes, fall away, floater, can't get it to go. Why are we going into defenders, Josh Hart? Just turn and shoot a floater, man. We're definitely covering the Knicks game tomorrow, Captain Massive. This is the first night of a back-to-back, and they're getting ran out of the gym by the Houston Rockets on national television. Show Ken said, which place are the Knicks are in? The Knicks are in the 3rd seed, but with a loss tonight, we'll put them tied in the loss column with the Cleveland Cavaliers at 28 losses. Thompson step back, foul line, fall away jumper, got it to go. When he's doing that, he's just in rhythm. The Knicks, terrible, terrible defensive pressure here tonight. Buzzer Beater said Hart needs to learn how to make a 15-foot bank shot. He needs to learn how to knock down an 8-foot floater consistently. Towns down the lane, draws a charge. It's 5 fouls on Sengun. Towns to the foul line for 2 free throws. 40 Scope said Hart and JB are the blockheads. Tonight, yeah, call them whatever you want tonight. 12 points and 8 assists for Jalen Brunson, but 5 for 13 from the field and not getting it done. Josh Hart, 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, not getting it done either. I don't think either guy played well at all. At all. We got 4:30 to go here tonight. Pretty much just winding down the time. Jason said the Gumby talk is great. There was Gumby talk in the chat. Shout out Gumby, man. Who is Gumby? Mike, what's up, Mike? He said Gumby. Who is Gumby? Fungpei said, based on available reports and player analysis, Karl-Anthony Towns is not considered pokey, slow or sluggish. Instead, he is recognized for having a unique, high-paced skill set for a center. Okay. It's your boy said, need one more rebound from Cat. How many rebounds does he have tonight? Karl-Anthony Towns has 7 rebounds for Karl-Anthony Towns. Not getting it done as Karl-Anthony Towns misses both free throws. Yep. Reed Shepard up top gets it over to Durant. Durant gets it over to Thompson. Thompson dancing with it, crosses over to his left. Can't knock down the reverse layup. Rebound knocked over to Bridges. Bridges pushing it the other way. Bridges dancing with it. Pulls it out. I got all dressed up for nothing. Like I said, I came correct. I was hoping our Knicks would come correct. They have not. Fall away, foul line jumper for Bridges. Finds the bottom of the net on that one. It is a 17-point game. 17-point game. But Buzzer Beater said they are giving Hart short-range shots, and he's not taking them or missing them. Use the dang glass. That's what it's for. I called it out earlier, Buzzer Beater. He had an 8-foot floater, and instead of shooting the floater, he instead tried to lob it down low to Karl-Anthony Towns, who had 2 defenders hanging on top of him. They are daring Josh Hart to score as Reed Shepard knocks down a 3. They're daring Josh Hart to score, and he is just refusing to even attempt to do so. It is absolutely disastrous for this team. Brunson a step back right corner 3 gets blocked by Thompson. Shepard knocked down the 3, by the way. I should give that to the Rockets. It's a 20-point deficit. Pull the starters, man. Pull the starters. Wave the flag, Mike Brown. Wave the flag. 40 Scope said first round knockout incoming. Mike Tyson. I could see this going either way. I could see the Knicks winning a championship. I could see them getting swept in the first round at this point with the way they perform. Towns down the lane, knocks down a layup. Karl-Anthony Towns has 20 points tonight on 6 for 15 from the floor. 3 minutes to go. And you could hear the disappointment in my voice, man. You could hear the disappointment. Dom Anthony said every team has a game plan except the Knicks. It feels like the Knicks have the same exact game plan for every single team. And I doubt that that's true. I don't think that that's true. I'll flat out say I don't think that that's true. But it feels that way. And that's a bad feeling. Buzzer Beater said Knicks gave up too many careless from behind steals. Yeah, I mean, the Rockets just beat them to loose balls, 50-50 plays, went their way, and the Knicks were careless. That's a good way of putting it. They were very careless. Namar, what's up, Namar? We need another players meeting? Possibly. Zane said, no, we had a good time here. Regardless of how the Knicks showed up, we did. Appreciate you, Zane. Appreciate you. Try to have fun, even on nights like tonight where it's annoying and disappointing, right? I will not be going to bed anytime soon. I will be tossing and turning, thinking about this game all night. Isaiah Garner said, I thought the Knicks were going to win this one and play better. Yep. Haitian Mike, what's up, Haitian Mike? Knicks had to do something about these three-point shooters. The Knicks are so inconsistent offensively, and it makes no sense to me. Because you have 4 guys who I think on any given night can go off for 20. Between Towns, Brunson, Anunoby, and Bridges. On any given night, all 4 of those guys can go out and give you buckets. Right now, it doesn't feel like a cohesive unit. It feels like there's too much on Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns and not enough on Anunoby and Bridges. It feels like we just stripped away all the ancillary things that we're doing earlier in the season in terms of the ball movement and the player movement. And that's just from the eye test. I don't know. I'm not going back and rewatching a lot of the film. I don't have the time to do so, unfortunately. But Mikal Bridges is like an afterthought on this team right now. What happened? He was the most consistent player. I can go back and I remember having these conversations during the pregames. We've done a pregame for every single Knicks game this season. I remember having these conversations where Mikal Bridges was the most consistent player to start the year for the Knicks. He, and I used to push back on Susan giving the nickname of Invisible to Mikal Bridges. Mikal Invisible Bridges is what she calls him. And I pushed back on it. And I was actively rooting for Mikal Bridges, saying he was the most consistent player on the Knicks to start the year. And he was. I don't believe I made that up. I didn't. Zone G. Appreciate you, Zone TV. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Thank you for that subscription. And right now, towards the end of the season, he's an afterthought. Where is he? 7 points, 4 field goal attempts? What is that? What is that? Zane said we want our 5 picks back. I'll take 2. I'll take 2 at this point. Give me 2 of the picks back. Literally anything. Anything. Because Mikal Bridges, I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know. I don't entirely blame him. Right now, and I haven't done this all season, I'm looking at the coaching staff and I'm going, what are we doing? Really, what are we doing? Hoopian says start of the year, the Knicks were built different. I mean, they weren't even playing particularly well to start the year, but you could see the inklings of like what we were doing. We were moving the ball around. Everybody was touching it. There was a lot of player movement, and I get it. It's the start of the year. We're now 70-plus games into it. These guys are tired. I'm sure they're looking forward to the playoffs and whatnot. They want to get out of this regular season healthy and ready to go. I get that. Sure, fine. But, man, I feel like the offense has slowly devolved all season to get to a point where it was last year. We fired Tom Thibodeau because we didn't want to be like last year. Last year, they weren't good enough. Their offense was bad. It boiled down to Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, give us a basket. That's what the offense boiled down to. And you're not going to win that way. You need all 5 guys, all hands on deck. I say it all the time. Towns misses a 3. I forget who shot the free throw, but they made it. I think that was Thompson. AP said it's the players. I don't know if it's the players. It's a combination of the players. It's not the players. Don't get me wrong, AP. It's a combination of all of them. It's the players, it's the coaching staff. But again, the offense has devolved since the start of the year. Less movement. Less movement, less ball movement. More singular actions. More Karl Anthony Towns ISOs. More Jalen Brunson ISOs. And that's what we did last year. That did not work. And it's why we moved on from the coach. To get a different looking offense. And we spent all year working on that offense only to devolve it at the last second here because Karl Anthony Towns isn't averaging 25. He's averaging 20. I don't get it. I don't get it. Bozabeater said, what happened to the fast pacing? Yeah. They're not getting out and running. And maybe it's a fatigue thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a looking ahead thing. I don't know. Or maybe, like I said, it's them reverting back to what they were last year because they're comfortable with that. And the new offense was too hard and too many players were making too many sacrifices. And if that's the case, the team's not going to work. If you can't make the sacrifice to be a better team and you have to sacrifice individual counting stats, individual accolades maybe even, for the betterment of the team, then you're not going to win. It's a team sport. And as much as we can talk about Sengun knocks down the jumper, Josh Hart knocked down both of his free throws, as much as we can talk about, how important star players are and superstar players are, Josh Hart will line up a 3, it's not going to work out. Towns with a rebound and a putback. It's not going to work out if your guys don't sacrifice. Brunson uses a foul probably to get everybody out of the game here. Yeah, we're going to wave the white flag. We're going to pull everybody out of the game. We got 2 minutes to go. Absolutely horrendous night. 40 Scope said no pride. I wouldn't go as far to say no pride, but I can't really push back on it where you have 3 losses in a row that felt pretty similar. Where other teams feel like they're gearing up for the playoffs, and it feels like the Knicks are very lackadaisical going into the playoffs right now. So I can't even push back on it. I don't agree, but I can't even come up with a reason to push back on it. Getting smoked on the court here tonight all night long is, come on. Posabita said, where's McCullough and Dadier? Dadier's out on the court. McCullough is not. We have Kolek, Diawara, Sohan, Dadier, and Huckporty. Namar said, I'm rooting for the Cavs to lose to the Lakers. I'm with you, Namar. I'm with you. Isaiah Garner said, why does Cat has to sacrifice when OG, Hart, and McHale have been playing garbage? Makes no sense. Everybody has to sacrifice. Cat has to sacrifice. Anunoby's got to sacrifice. Bridges has to sacrifice. Sohan will line up a 3. Sohan will miss it. But, you know, AB said it's the players. It's not just the players. That's giving an out to the coaching staff. It's also the coaching staff. It's a combination of all of the factors involved. Everybody involved on this team. Everybody who's involved on the night-to-night process of this team. You're part of the problem right now. And the Knicks got to figure it out. Farm Boy TV said, let JB finish the game, so next game players will rotate the ball. I don't see how that works out, brother. Take Howard said 35 of 83 from the field. Just a bad night. Bad process all around. Jeff Green misses the 3, Dadier the rebound. You know? I know we're at the end of the regular season here, but you got to try something. Dadier a 3, way off on that one, throws up a brick. Huckporty the rebound. They swing it over to Kolek. Jab step, coming to his right, throws a lob up top. Sohan with a one-handed slam. You know, if you need energy, if you need toughness, why not try Sohan? If you want more ball movement and player movement and a faster pace, why not try Kolek? If you want wild play and more length and size, why not try Diawara? Right? I've been very critical of the rotations tonight, but like Mike Brown was brought in here to try things and experiment. He's not tried too many things. He's not really experimented, especially toward in the second half of the season here. And maybe it's because, yeah, we're gearing up for a playoff run here, so no point in really experimenting, starting to lock down a rotation, but the rotations have been bad, so I don't like it. I don't like it. He said, despite a crappy night for the Knicks, you kept the energy up for your listeners. I tried, man. I tried. You could hear me peter out towards the end for sure. Young On said, can't fix stupid. And those are harsh words for sure. And I will not push back on it. Jason said, don't understand why the starters were in so long today. If anyone got hurt, I would have lost it. Tay Cowboy said, Mike, I called for the bench in the first quarter. Our starters need a wake-up call. I mean, just no flexibility right now in Mike Brown's rotations. And again, maybe he's just playing this for a stretch to see how the rotations work out. He's getting players healthy, like Deuce McBride back. Landry Shamet will be back soon. But you lost 3 games in a row here. You played high-caliber opponents, and you didn't look like you were in the same league as them. Sorry. Really, you played 3 high-caliber opponents, and you didn't look like you belonged on the court with all 3 of them. Right? The Oklahoma City game was pretty close for the most part, but they trailed almost the entirety of the game, as they have majority of the season and majority of their games. Tay Cowboy said, Rockets outshot, out-hustled, out-everything us tonight. Yep, can't push back on it. When you lose 111 to 94, can't push back on it. The offense looks really bad right now. Bozebeater said, we need at least 2 two-way players. That was the purpose of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, right? But they have consistently been one-way players. Consistently. Mark said, limiting into the playoffs is not what you want to do. For sure, for sure. I've talked about before. I'm good on where the Knicks are, as long as they can stay in the 3 seed and get into the playoffs healthy with everybody ready to go. I'm good. But stay in the 3 seed. Losing tonight ties them with the Cleveland Cavaliers for 4. They could drop down to 4 as early as tonight if the Cavs win. It's not good. It's not good at all. Nate Yak said, we just need to play a good game against anyone. Literally against anyone. I'm with you, Yak. Here's the thing. They had a 7-game winning streak against sub-500 opponents. And cool. They won the games they were supposed to win. But that was supposed to be in preparation for this run right here. We knew the schedule got tough. And the Knicks have not lived up to expectations. As a matter of fact, they are actively failing the test right now. They are failing the test. Now the schedule will line up again after those tough 3 losses there. All of them by double digits. Now you have Memphis. Should be a win, but you never know at this point with the way the Knicks are playing. You have Chicago. Should be a win, but you never know with the way the Knicks are playing right now. Then you got a tough one against Atlanta, tough one against Boston, tough one against Toronto, tough one against Charlotte. So you should have a 3-game winning streak to get back to 3 losses. And then who knows with the way they're playing. Who knows? Nick Yak said, who's not limping of top teams we play better same player? Not sure what you mean, Nick Yak. Buzzer Beater said we need to go 4-2. At worst, they need to go 4-2, Buzzer Beater, for sure. At worst. Let's go around the league before we sign off here. The Pistons have taken care of business against the Toronto Raptors here tonight. 3 minutes to go. 11-point game. Not out of it yet. Raptors piling comeback in the fourth quarter, 31-23. The Cavs and the Lakers will be tipping off soon. We have the Blazers and the Clippers at 11 p.m. We have the Magic who beat the Suns tonight in a 4-point game. Okay, welcome back Dylan Brooks as well. Shout out Dylan Brooks, just came back. The Hornets took down the Nets as they should have, and the Rockets smoked the Knicks. Unfortunately, the Bucks beat the Mavs. All right, those are all our games. So tomorrow, we will be live with the Knicks game. They are at Memphis, 8 o'clock start time. The Celtics will be playing the Heat, who just took down the 76ers. The Hawks are playing the Magic. What else we got? Couple of whatever games outside of that. The Spurs Warriors later that night. Sons Jen said I blame that PCL hat. AP said personally I think it's going to be a second round out. Very well could be, AP. It very well could be. And that would force the Knicks to make pretty major changes to their team, I think. But with that being said, we will be live for our Knicks-Grizzlies coverage. And pretty much that's going to be it. Thursday, we're going to do the doubleheader. We got Timberwolves-Pistons going into Lakers-Thunder. So Thursday, we have the doubleheader going on. Get off my lawn records. So that was rough. That was indeed rough. You know what's not rough? GetOffMyLawnRecords.com. Check out the Jazz Destroyers, y'all. We're going to end it there. If you need some positivity in your life, go check out the Jazz Destroyers. We're going to sign it off here. David Hodge Jr. said, I say we play the bench last 6 games. I don't think the Knicks deserve that with how poorly they've played. If they would have played better during this 3-game stretch here against tough teams, I would have been like, hey, yeah, let's do that. Let's get them rest. They played hard. They deserve it. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. AB said in the playoffs, it's all high caliber. It is indeed. It is indeed. I want to give a shout out to all of the channel members. Very generous of you guys to support the community here. It is a very, very cheap membership. It is simply just a support tier. We will have, membership-specific emojis on the way. I am working on that stuff in the background. There's just a lot to do, especially in preparation for the playoffs here. But shout out all of the channel members, whether you were gifted a membership or you decided to become a member all on your own. I appreciate you guys nonetheless. Thank you for that. And shout out my guy AP, who was very generous with Super Chats here tonight. He sent in 2 Super Chats. Very generous of my guy AP for supporting the community. And shout out all of the new subscribers or any new watchers here tonight. Hopefully we have a better performance tomorrow and we can start having fun again. Tonight was not fun. Anamona says, let's bring Tibbs back. I'm good on ever seeing Tom Thibodeau coach my team again. It was fun, but he wears out his welcome. There's a reason why he's been fired pretty much about 5 years into his tenure for each and every team he's coached. He wears his welcome out very quickly. Mike said St. John's could have beaten the Knicks tonight. Literally, a middle school team probably could have beat the Knicks tonight. I thought they were pretty putrid from start to finish. Just that said, your mic is a little scratchy? I think that's just my voice. That might just be my voice. Or maybe my mic is scratchy, but either way, we're going to end it here. And hopefully that won't be there. A little bit of feedback. Maybe I'm pinching my thing. Or maybe I was just moving it because I was playing with my bolo tie. That could be it, because it is attached to my bolo tie there. But David Hodge Jr. said, at least we fought with Tibbs. Again, let's not romanticize the Tom Thibodeau era. There were plenty of times the Knicks got blown out last year, and it did not feel good. They got smoked 4 times last year by the Boston Celtics. They got ran out of the gym 3 times by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were 0-11 against the top 2 teams of each conference. It was bad all around. It was bad all around with Tom Thibodeau. They were not good against any good teams last year. Let's not romanticize the Tom Thibodeau season last year because it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Part of the reason why he was fired. But like I said, we're going to end it there. Disappointing night. Hopefully we can get back on the fun bandwagon tomorrow. We're going to go back to some sort of regular outfit. They probably don't deserve me dressing up, so we'll probably rock some a casual outfit for the final road game tomorrow against the Memphis Grizzlies, and then we have a pretty strong home schedule from that point forward. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember, brush your teeth before bed. Stay hydrated. You can't even see my hand. Brush your teeth before bed. Stay hydrated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye! My guy AP, I gotta shout you out before we sign off, brother. Appreciate your generosity, man. Thank you. He said this team has been a disappointment. I was expecting first place, complete disappointment. At least competing for the first place. I completely agree with you, AP. That 2-9 stretch completely sunk their ability to challenge for the 2 seed, and this next stretch has completely sunk their ability to challenge for the 2 seed even. So yeah, pretty disappointing all around. Appreciate you, AP. Thank you for that.